Well, good afternoon and welcome back to DR Sports for the Saturday Football Show with myself, AGT, and it's a very good selection of guests today. On my left, fresh from a second 0-0 in a row, it's Matisse. He's just been to the Chelsea shop. I believe you've just purchased with your own money an Enzo Fernandez shirt and also a João Felix shirt. Can you confirm or deny the rumours?
Yeah, I mean, the club have put a lot of money into the players. I have to put some money into it as well now. I thought, let me double down on that. You know what I mean? These are the two saviours now. I'm going with Enzo.
Can we see the shirts? Have you got them there?
I think the bag next to Fuad.
Bag's there, yeah.
Man's trying to
Don't
balance
ruin
the
who the
books.
other guest is.
What's wrong with you?
It's Enzo and Felix, do you know what I mean?
By the way, Matisse has packed both of these shirts that have definitely cost over £75 each into a man bag.
Yeah, I mean,
here's the first shirt.
It's very small. I mean, I didn't want to.
Brave of you to do this after 2 0-0s, yeah.
Number 11
Mid-table.
for a loanee, you know.
Yes, for a loanee. That's how highly I rate him.
That shirt literally won't be valid in about 3 months' time. But fair enough.
We're gonna get him permanent.
He's been doing a few streams.
I'm manifesting it. We're gonna get him permanent.
Hey, if that doesn't happen and he ends up at United or something.
And Enzo, there you go, number 5.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Yeah.
There you go. Also, to my left and to Matisse's left, we've got Fuad as well, a mainstay of the show at the minute, looking very resplendent in your new jacket, mate, as well.
Thank you. It's not quite new, to be fair.
Yeah, a bit of pen mark, actually, yeah.
Face prints on it, but you know.
Face prints?
Hey.
I wonder whose those were.
Not much like on that one.
And then the Manchester United representative for today, to my right, is Neeks. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm disappointed you didn't say anything about my beautiful shirt as well. What's the bias going on
beautiful?
there?
Nah, I can't say beautiful. Definitely not beautiful.
Well, I'm good.
But, I'll tell you what is beautiful. This show, we've got absolutely incredible games lined up for you at 3 o'clock. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to DR Sports if you haven't already. But, gentlemen, today we are feasting on Aston Villa versus Leicester, a cheeky Midlands derby, that one. Brentford versus Southampton. Brighton versus Bournemouth. Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. And, of course, Wolverhampton Wanderers versus the most successful club in England. That
Manchester
is Liverpool.
United.
No, factually it's Liverpool. We also will dive into the match last night. We'll touch on that for sure. The 0-0 in southwest London. Still haven't managed to beat Fulham this season.
West London as well.
And we'll get into Chelsea, we'll get into Everton, who have just beaten Arsenal as well, by the way. And we're going to talk about the January transfer window as well. That's all coming up for you in the first half of DR Sports Saturday Football Show with myself, AGT. We've got Matisse, Fuad and Neeks as well. It's going to be an absolute belter. Like the video, do yourself and do us a favour if you're enjoying the content. Make sure you show that and support us as we get into the show. Right. Arsenal. Arsenal. Okay, let's get into this one. A 1-0 win for Everton. Sean Dyche's first game as Everton manager. He turns it around at Goodison Park and gets that fan base behind him, and it sees them over the line. Arsenal have lost for the second time now this season. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of banter flying towards Robbie on the weekend roundup show on Monday. Well, not from me if we don't win our game. However, what do you make of this one, gents? What does this mean for Arsenal and what does this mean for Everton? Let's go around the table. Fuad to start us off.
Your defense is in Java.
Right away.
That's what they were singing, you know. And then they bucked Sean Dyche's real men. Yeah, because that's what Sean Dyche is. He's a real man. And when he's come back to the Premier League and he's come back to Everton, that's what he's come back to instill. What you saw today, that hard-nosed, backs to the wall, grit and grind football. In my honest opinion, I could see Everton surviving relegation just off the back of hiring Sean Dyche. I thought last year when they were in trouble, before Lampard kind of hit that back end of the season form, I thought that was the time to bring in Sean Dyche. 12 months later, you see the immediate bounce. They talk about new manager bounce and new manager effect. You saw that in full effect today. And I think the last time I saw an Everton crowd this kind of active and this loud was
when they stayed up on the last day.
Not even that. I remember do you remember when Duncan Ferguson took over?
Yes.
For like the first game or two, they were like, one of our own is in charge, and the stadium was rocking in that same manner. Today, listen, Arsenal tried their thing in moments in the second half. They were still splitting them apart with their passing, but Everton showed grit, grind, and real men attitude today. I love that, man. You can't hate on that. Me, I love a performance like that. People love decorating when teams play great champagne football and all this, but this is the other side of the game. Sometimes where you can stop the champagne and put a cork on it. Hold that. Let me collect my 3 points to that.
That says Fuad.
I feel like you've enjoyed that.
Bro, Saturday, I start my day eating Turkish gozlem for breakfast.
Shout out
I
to
see
that. That's very
Arsenal
nice.
losing it. I'm like, hey, man, you know what? As a Spurs fan, I can't complain, man. My weekend, I got City, you know what I mean? So I got to get my wins where I can.
Well, there you go. That was Fuad's opinion on the 1-0 win to Everton. Before we come on to Matisse, I've got to get into the comments. Some very good ones. Pedro, Chelsea fan, says, Agent Jorginho. Once a blue, always a blue. Sharab says, now Arsenal will bottle the title and lose the next 3 games. What a day, he says. Best of Enemies is going to be lit, says Trido. We've actually got a cheeky clip from that show from yesterday, which I believe you were on. If you all laugh and celebrate us losing, I wouldn't mind. We deserve to lose today, says the Tatted Ginger 88. Liverpool will lose, says Christian. Nice one to you, mate. Thank you. Everton 1, Arsenal 0. Things you love to see, says Livewire Red. Agent Aubameyang, always a red, says Anonymous. Mustafa, hold that. Says Mustafa. So he's kind of, having a go at himself. This AGT guy, Liverpool getting thrashed by Wolves today, says Livingstone. Big up to you as well. We were poor today. Lack quality and composure, says Arjan, Arsenal fan. Is he right, Matisse? What did Arsenal lack today? And what did Everton have that they haven't had so far this season?
I mean, I keep it $100. I was picking up my merch for my club to try and summon the higher beings and make sure that we could pick up some points. So, I haven't seen this.
Should have done that last night.
Yeah, I mean, I said lateness is greatness. I haven't seen this, but what I have seen is Odegaard marking Tchaikovsky.
Poor, isn't it?
It's a bit strange. I think that's an error on the tactical side of the situation there, set pieces. I also like Jorginho, you know, as I mentioned, you know, that's my guy, vice captain. Sometimes we just get a Chelsea player and we just plop them right there, do you know what I mean, into the Arsenal ecosystem, and they just work a treat, do you know what I mean? They spread that kind of disease around the place, make sure everybody kind of feels it in their chest, little cough, Petr Cech, Willian, and hopefully Jorginho is going to do the same thing. But I mean, Everton, there was always going to be a different team under Dyche. I didn't expect it to be this instant, but yeah, he's got them obviously under control immediately. And Lampard, like Gerrard, when you make that switch to an Emery and a Dyche, you know you're gonna get levels clear. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna get levels above what you was getting before.
Real man.
Crunk King says your team is in trouble. Dyche is in the room.
Yes, I like that, you know.
Sean Dyche. I mean, what an impact he's had. The first game, he gets the win, clean sheet as well, which Everton have found very hard to come by this season. Where's the maximum that he can take this team? We're going to talk a little bit later about can he keep them up, but to go in your first game and silence the leaders, that's some achievement.
Well, we spoke about this on the transfer deadline show with the Everton fan. I can't remember his name now.
Was it Mike?
Was it Mike? I think it was Mike.
Yeah.
And you know, we were trying to convince him that Dyche might be one of the signings of the January transfer window.
Yeah.
Obviously, Everton didn't sign anyone, but they got the man they really needed, which was, and the change they needed, which really was in the managerial seat. They have got some good players. For me, Everton shouldn't be in a relegation zone. I know the mess of the club in general, but in terms of the players, the way that, fair enough, the Lampard got Iwobi playing through the middle. Onana from last season, I think he looked good. At the back with Tarkowski and Cody. Dominic Calvert-Lewin being injured is probably one of the biggest impacts. If they can keep him fit for the rest of the season, I think Dyche, the way the style of Everton's plays, I think they're very direct and as Fuad says, they're real men. They're big, they're strong.
Real.
PMP, pace and power. That's what this Everton side have, and that's what Dyche is all about. You saw he brought McNeil straight into the starting lineup, and him and his old Burnley teammate combined for the first goal.
Funny
and
that.
they get the 1-0. And it's like Dyche is made for Everton. When you actually look at it, since Moyes, Everton have been through a plethora of managers who have tried to play this sexy brand of football one way or another. But when all is said and done, it all comes back to this. And the way that Dyche is going to get them playing is probably going to be very similar to how Moyes had them playing about 10 years ago before he left for Man United. And that was more than good enough to keep Everton as a stable side. And if they can stay up, which I think they might, I think they will actually. He going forward, I think, is the right man to just stabilise them and not have them worrying about relegation going forward. Today they deserve that win. Yeah, new manager bounce, but they could have 3 goals in the first half. Calvert-Lewin had 2 golden opportunities. Decore had a free header. They deserve that win 100%. And Arsenal can have no complaints.
I look forward to watching this back on the replay.
Yeah, Everton with a better side. And I'm sure the stats will say that as well.
Deserve to win. A Bizzle 1010 says, I'm not worried. We always lose to Everton at Goodison Park. Partey and Martinelli both subbed off and we started playing worse than before. Next up, Brentford bounce back. Let's get into some super chats. Joe Hallworth saying, delighted for Everton, Asna holders to folders, FC. Adrian Sheikh says, told people about Jorginho, lost the ball constantly and got bullied in midfield by Onana and slows down tempo completely. AFC lost the midfield. Onana is a baller.
Do you know what's so funny, just on that Jorginho thing? I remember yesterday when Enzo made his debut. I was quite impressed early on, especially in the first half. I thought, yo,
got spun a couple of times.
Do you know? One thing I tweeted out was, yo, he's got the Xavi scans on lock. I don't know if you've ever seen that meme
looking
of
around,
Xavi looking around 100
constantly,
times, and I was like, for someone to come into the Premier League first game, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it should be 100 miles an hour, where you're like, Premier League's almost too quick for me. I was like, yeah, this guy's getting too many chances. In my comments section, do you know how many people, how many Arsenal fans were in my comment section saying, Jorginho does the same thing.
That's what
what are you hyping up scan checks for? Every basic midfielder does this.
You see scans in Championship,
it was so
though, man.
funny today
Surely
when
not.
I saw him come on and no scan checks are being done, balls being dispossessed. I went, it was so easy, wasn't it? When Enzo was doing it last night, I said, why can't Jorginho do it? So it's just so funny seeing that. I was like,
hella scans.
It's so funny that how tribal fans are.
So tribal. As soon as you sign
it's
for
like they start hyping it, and I'm like, what's this? You're hyping up double agents. Is this what we're doing now?
Jorginho,
he hasn't even played a minute.
This Jorginho defense. I still can't quite get my head around it, right? When he signed for Arsenal, and he's holding up that number 20 shirt, and they're calling him J2O, right?
Yeah.
And they got their bottles shaking.
Terrible drink. Used to be good.
Obviously, I unfollowed him. Do you know what I'm saying? I only
Sugar
follow
tax killed
my own
him.
players. I only follow my own players. As soon as I seen him holding up that Arsenal shirt with a new introduction caption, I was like, bye-bye, we're done here. But you would think it would take a little bit longer before they start really getting onto that defence chain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, you guys
Matisse,
really already got.
I said this on the
For me, it's just kind of crazy how quickly it changes.
But I said this on the transfer
So
deadline
strange.
show, and Abby, Spurs fan, she was defending it like I thought she was actually an Arsenal fan, double agent, clearly. But I was like, in the morning they woke up and they were all fuming that Jorginho was linked.
Yeah.
3 hours later, they gathered together in their closed Telegram group where they all came together and said, guys, we have to go out there and defend Jorginho.
Put on a break.
And from 10 a.m., by the time it came to 10 p.m., they were all Jorginho's biggest fans. And I was like, no, your first reaction was the real reaction. Be true to
But
yourself.
they're trying to
Arsenal
keep
fan.
the
Trying to save
environment.
face.
Of course,
trying to keep,
of course.
you have to, you know.
But it's too late. You showed your face already.
Top of
You
the
needed
league.
to have that meeting before you tweeted. They were tweeting early. I saw what they were about, man.
And that's my thing. It was like straight away they were giving
I
a
love
case
it.
of like, oh, it's not like a Peter Cech, it's not like a Willian, it's not like a
It's worse.
a David Luiz.
I think it's a good signing.
And this is the thing. I don't think it's the worst signing, but it's still a Chelsea leftover, in my opinion. Like, Chelsea have used this guy for his best period. And now you're getting him basically on the down end, hoping that maybe there's still a little bit of life in this. And that's my thing. It's you went from Caicedo and Mudryk, where you guys were so excited, to now settling for this. Don't try and
Fuad,
don't try and polish a turd.
They-
Because at
they-
the end of the day, it's still a turd.
they
I'm not
started
saying
digging
Jorginho's
up.
a turd, but what he's become now is not what he used to be.
Yeah,
in my
100%.
opinion.
They started digging up Arteta's quotes from 3 years ago. Yeah, he wanted him in 2020. It must be a good sign.
The time is key. Trust
There
me.
you go. Another super chat from Tina. Is this the start of the typical Arsenal crack? Tina asks. Is it? I mean, 5 points ahead now. Obviously, Man City play tomorrow, but that would still give Arsenal the game in hand to take that lead back to 5 points. But is this maybe the start of Arsenal's?
Listen, the whole second half of the
derailing
season,
of their title.
the whole second half of the season is going to be a test of their
Every
mettle.
game now.
and 100%, and that's what you get when you're leaders, when you're chase. This is why I think sometimes Liverpool and City fans have always said it's one thing when you're leading the title race, it's another thing when you're chasing. You almost want to be the chasing team because there's less pressure. Arsenal haven't been in this situation in, I don't know what, since Leicester was maybe the last closest race. Before that, maybe 08, 09.
2016.
This squad,
Yeah.
anyway, is very inexperienced. So this second half of the season, they've still got the 2 games v City to go. I think they've got a lot of the away games, if I'm not mistaken, against
Anfield,
the top side
yeah.
still to play.
Yeah.
So I've said Jesus still to come back in, European fixture still to come back in. This title race that Arsenal fans have almost been celebrating as a foregone conclusion for the past month and a half, it's really not. If City win tomorrow, they're now within 2 points, although they will have a game in hand. You still play them twice. So it's not a given that Arsenal are going to walk the title. I'm not saying now they're going to crack and cave, but listen, it ain't over till it's over, trust me.
Well, this City-Arsenal game coming up, or Arsenal-City in 2 games' time, is going to be huge. I think if City can maintain, it's 5 points at the moment, if they can maintain that gap of 5 points, having played the same amount of games, as long as they don't lose to Arsenal at the Emirates, it is all to play for. Literally, it's all to play for. Yeah, they'll still have that 5 point gap, but you probably, if you're gonna have to put money on it, you would put it on City in a run-in more than this Arsenal side who haven't proved it. If they lose to Arsenal at the Emirates, then you have to say Arsenal. I think Arsenal are probably slightly favourites now. Just the Tottenham game is gonna have a big impact on that. But I think that first game at the Emirates is between Man City and Arsenal is gonna be huge.
What about
Got
you
a
guys?
second- No, for me, I said that week where we had City, Palace, Arsenal, I couldn't put us in a title race until that week was finished. I would have to see how many points back and the results and all that after that. Yeah, we beat City, and Man United fans, well, that means we're in a title race now. I was like, we literally still got 2 games. There's 2 games to go before we can say that, really. And then we drew Palace a few days later. And then we lost to Arsenal. So, yeah, for me, you know, if we beat
went
City,
fizzled out quick.
Yeah,
A humbler,
They literally
real
went down. They
quick.
went win, draw, loss. And then they're not in the title
It
race.
can change quick like that. If you remember Arsenal last season in the top 4 race, how long did they hold that? And it looked like, yeah, they're back in the top 4. And then within the space of 3 weeks where they played Brighton, Palace, Newcastle, the North London derby, it was boom. 2 weeks, it was like, hold on. Top 4's gone, and we just didn't let it go from there on. So things can change quick in the Premier League, I'm telling you.
I think before I get on Arsenal's case too much, I need to see how City are going to play, because I'm not impressed with City. And up until I see that City actually lay down a marker and show a proper clear-cut performance, I can't sit here and say that, oh yeah, City are going to suddenly catch Arsenal and they're definitely going to do this and that. City need to show that they are the City of old and they can go on a run, they can put
This is the
together
thing.
these
Yeah,
performances.
because people say they can go on this
and
run,
this-
but I haven't seen
Arsenal
this
can have
team
a
do
bad
it.
day. Arsenal can have a bad day against Sean Dyche and the new manager.
A
Bounce.
revamped,
It's
yeah.
not enough for me to be like flipping the switch and be like, yeah, City.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
City could
I'm watching
easily
City.
lose
But-
Spurs
Exactly, they
tomorrow.
could, exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was going to say the Spurs game, I think, is almost like the perfect litmus test for City to say,
Ooh,
look,
good
they
word.
are a bogey team. They are a team who, okay, you turned it around a couple of weeks ago. Now can you do it away at their ground? Put the pressure on Arsenal. So in all honesty, with City, as you said, they haven't been at their best this whole season. I feel like they haven't really clicked into that City gear. They haven't looked that fearful City that we know them for. I think this could be the kind of game to really see, can you really step it up?
Okay,
Champions League round the corner as well. Great time to hit your stride.
Can I just say, the interesting thing is that obviously the World Cup has thrown a bit of a spanner in the works and created a bit of illusion about where we are in the season. We're 20 games in.
Yeah.
This is about Christmas in any other season. And we never say a league is decided by Christmas. We're talking about this. When we
Apart
say the
from
second,
when Liverpool won it.
what?
20 odd
That
points
came clear. Oh, and
Yeah.
City has done that against us when Mourinho's year. But generally, if we're talking about a title race, we look at, all right, New Year, 24 games or so after the first FA Cup round, then it goes. We're just about hitting the Christmas period in any other season.
Yeah,
There's a
you're right.
long way to
You're
go.
right.
I have
Good
to
point.
ask
Very
on
good
top of
point.
that as well. Why did he take Partey off? What was the reason for that? Is he injured? Or?
I think he was injured going into the game.
Okay.
So I think he kind of said 60 minutes he's got. That's what I think. But I think Partey was probably supposed to be
And
Marcus
guess what?
Hudson.
That's-
And it
as
ended
soon as
up with
Partey
Odegaard.
comes off that pitch for Arsenal, it's a problem.
Bro, I think all season, both Arsenal and United fans have been saying if we lose Casemiro or Partey, the drop off
Yeah.
to the
Mad.
next player
Yeah.
is the biggest drop off
it's
in the
huge.
Premier League, like position for position. And I hear that to a certain extent. Because
it was Partey to Lokonga,
It was Partey to Lokonga,
Casemiro
and
and McTominay.
Yeah, it's crazy. And now it's Jorginho's coming, so it's really Partey. If he's playing on his last hamstrings in or February now, listen, April there's going to be, I think, 7 games or whatever. Europe's coming back in round the corner. That is probably going to be the biggest test. As I said, their mettle will be tested not only in fitness, but in
mental fortitude.
Yeah,
they can't use
100%.
Partey in the Europa League. They need to leave it.
Couple more super chats. Ibby, Arsenal fan, says, hopefully this is a slap in the face we needed. Deserve to lose, can't complain. The buffer we had softens this loss. Confident we can bounce back. Whereas Todd Miller, the Chelsea fan, says, praise to J2O, another Chelsea sabotage masterclass. He says. Let's go. Let's actually give Everton a little bit of credit here. We've said how much of a surprise, a shock result this is for Arsenal to actually lose. But why have they lost today? And what did Everton do that Arsenal haven't been? Well, they couldn't deal with it today, but they've been able to deal with these kind of fixtures so far this season. So should we be given a little bit more credit to Everton instead of maybe shouting about how bad Arsenal were?
It's not even that. I think, that's why we started off with Everton, to be fair. I think Everton definitely deserve a lot of credit. I think Onana today set the tone for what they were about, in my opinion. And when a new manager comes in, I think that's the thing. You get players like that who, I think he actually hasn't done too bad this season, but they want to prove their point again almost. And I think you get that with the Tarkovskys, the McNeils. They already know him. Some of these newer guys, they want to be proving themselves. So today, credit to him. I think every single one of them as an individual delivered, as well as Dyche's game plan, if that makes sense. And once you get those two things connecting, listen, Arsenal had a tough day today. No matter what quality you have, when you come up against a team like that, a stadium like that, it ain't going to be easy walking away. I think Arsenal, every time they've gone to Everton, it's never been a kind of great stomping ground there, to be fair. So Everton made it difficult, and Everton doing what they're doing. Listen, bottom of the table, you got to get your results some way. If you can, first game under the new manager, say, look, top of the table, the team that's been playing the absolute best, I think they've got, 13, 14 wins in the league.
Yep.
If we can go and get a point there, that sets the marker for now, the rest of the campaign for Everton. If this is a benchmark of our work rate, our style, cool. This is now the measuring stick. So credit to Sean Dyche. I'm actually, I know people aren't excited to see that type of football, but I'm excited to see what Sean Dyche can do with this Everton team now. Because Everton have been a club that's been pretty much, I feel like, in free fall for about 6 or 7 years. Since Roberto Martinez, you would say. They went from like that cute, nice Europa League club to now
little spell under Ancelotti.
Ancelotti, Koeman. There was a bit of, they lost their almost brand. Silva. A few managers where they just kind of, I don't know, were willy-nilly signing badly as well. I just feel like Sean Dyche would just come and bring a level of calmness, a bit of stability, a bit of
been there, done it, knows what he needs
here
to
is
do.
our ID, here is our identity. We're going to stay in the Premier League. This is our focus now. There's obviously going to come a point when they've had like maybe 3 or 4 years of safety where they'll be like, you know what, we want to switch brands a little bit again. That time can come, but for now, for the next 2-3 years, I'm actually really excited to see what Dyche can bring. And I always say, when Dyche left, we don't have any more of those types of teams in the Premier League.
This is
Every team now is playing nice, free-flowing, tippy-tappy football. You don't have any more nasty teams. I was like, you need these types of managers.
Just like
what I love.
teams,
So I was saying, real men.
Versatility.
This is real Premier League DNA.
But this is it.
No, but
Sean
Burnley
Dyche
left them. They sacked him.
Now look at the football they play now.
Now they got Vincent Kompany doing up Tika Taka. When you get promoted next season, let me see if you're still popping that champagne and if you're not holding 5 like Norwich were, like Colchester were, like all these other men, or Huddersfield was it. I remember all these champagne teams that come up, they always got to switch it up. You either have to significantly improve your quality like Fulham have done with Palhinha, those types of players, or you have to really have a brand like Dyche's where it's like, hey, survival first.
Everton winning the game today with 30% possession.
Love it. Love it.
But
Jose Mourinho said
more
it.
shots on target.
One more shot on target, 7 corners to 5 for Everton. Fouls, there was 22 fouls in the whole game, 13 done by Everton. Was there an argument to say maybe Morpay could have got a second yellow for his actions on Zinchenko at the end there?
Was that right at the end? Is that what the fight was about? I missed it. It was like
I just want to give Morpay a round of applause. Like, that man is the #1 Arsenal hater I've ever seen. I'm convinced he's a bigger Spurs fan than Spurs fans themselves. the way he rattles that club, gets under their skin, no
Ty
matter where he's
specifically.
played.
Yeah, Ty's big
I
time.
cannot wait to see Ty's fan
I
cam.
can't wait.
Post
We might have to
reaction.
do. We might have
Wherever
to
it
just
is,
play it.
please,
as soon as it's out.
someone DM it to me as soon as it drops.
Is he
because
in
I need
Everton
that.
today, or is he in the studio?
Hook it in my veins.
Yeah, we need to know
But
that. ASAP.
I just feel like Maupay, I don't know why he has his hatred for Arsenal, but I seem to love it. He gets under their skin like no one else. And listen, he done his job, never got sent off. Listen, 3 points, you leave there, can't complain.
Don't even rate him that highly as well.
Bro, he's
yeah,
listen,
not
he's an awful striker.
Yeah,
he's awful.
He's the definition of a shit house merchant. You don't have him there for goals, you have him there to get under skins. And then you tell him, listen, go and throw a little elbow, go and pull his shoelaces, go and pull his hair, and then we'll see how he reacts from there on. And listen, centre backs are losing their heads today, you know what I'm saying?
Safe to
Saliba
say,
trying to
after
throw
that
knees.
happened, you know, everyone running over. There's maybe a little bit of Arsenal losing their heads. That's what I thought when I was watching it live. And we know that Arsenal have been beaten with this stick, maybe unfairly, that they always kind of fall away in the Februarys, the Marches, the Aprils. But I don't know, there was something about today, and I could be very wrong, but there was something about today. For the first time this season, I've seen Arsenal just slip mentally a little bit. That's the thing I've been praising them about the whole season, is that mental fortitude that we've not really seen before. Home and away, grinding out wins against big teams.
It's how they respond now, though, isn't it?
That's
the
the
thing.
That
Because
is the great
you can do this
key
once or
that-
twice or three
yeah,
times.
you can
but-
slip up once or
Losing
twice.
one game is not.
Yeah, it's not.
the end of the world.
It's, for me,
Yeah.
it's all about the response and the next couple of fixtures after that. And this is why I think it's very important to see what City does tomorrow as well. Whether they can actually capitalise. Are they going to start to show their own mental fortitude? Because I think that is in question. I think, you know,
For sure.
yeah, they have won the Premier League. They do have the experience. They have done it, been there, done it last four out of the last 5 years. But you still need to show that you can do that now. And remember, they've lost a couple of key players back behind the scenes in Zinchenko, Fernandinho. No one speaks about Fernandinho. No one speaks about Fernandinho. That was a big
The
loss.
leadership.
The leadership, not on the pitch, because obviously he's regressed.
Massive shit house merchant as well, by the way.
But he's a massive shit. Yeah, exactly.
He was like
Yeah.
an expert in how to avoid yellow
dark
cards.
arts, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't
you'd
know how
watch
he did
it and you count them up.
Yeah,
That's three.
That's
I was
three.
watching-
85th
And
minute,
then
his
he's
first one.
Mate, I was
He's got
watching-
nothing.
I was watching
Bro,
some Premier
horrible.
League stories thing on Sky yesterday where they were doing it about him. Honestly, quality player, man. He's one of those players who I feel like ticks all the boxes, like technical, physical, leader, had a bit of pace about him, had strength, like everything you wanted. A long shot, he's got it. A pass in his locker, he's got it. Like goals, he's got it. Quality player, man. And yeah, as you said, I don't think it's obviously spoken about enough. Obviously because he was maybe
Honest,
fading out a
yeah.
little bit on the way out, but what a player he was. I'm
Can
sure in the
I ask
dressing
you a
room would have been
question? Sure.
huge.
Go for it.
Huge.
Obviously, we know Fuad, Matisse. We know they don't want Arsenal to win the league as Spurs and Chelsea fans.
Me?
Huh?
I assume.
Where did he get
I
that
assume. That's
from?
my assumption, guys.
We're just a couple of non-biased
Please,
Saturday football pundits.
Please.
talking
I'm
on
a
the beautiful
football
game.
Fan. Yeah, I'm a football fan. Whoever wins, wins.
But as a Liverpool,
Look at those eyes. I hope you should have stayed on him.
but as a Liverpool fan, and I know how a lot of Liverpool fans feel, but I want you to
Has
say
this
for
got
yourself.
anything to do with my bet with Belgium as well?
I didn't know you had a bet with them.
Okay, well everyone
Do
does.
you
He owes
want?
Belgium 10k?
Do you want?
Anyway, let's move on.
Do you want? What was your question? My question is: do you want City to win the league over Arsenal? Who would you prefer to win the league?
It's
out
a
of the two?
very, very good question. My friend.
know what
I'm
most
glad you
Liverpool
asked
fans
it
are
as
saying.
well, you know, because I don't know is the answer. Ask me the same thing in April, I would say, because
Why?
do I want Man City to win the league? Obviously not.
No.
Who's the second best option that could potentially do it? It's Arsenal. Bear in mind where I work. Bear in mind the people I work with on a weekly, almost, well, daily basis. Yeah, sometimes even 3 times a day. Pause. These people would become totally unbearable for me if they won. However,
There is no however, really.
I don't think
And cut.
Big up Matisse, man. Do you know what? When we work this closely together, we literally finish off each other's
me
sentences.
and Abby had this conversation as well. You know, do we want to still be here for
Yeah.
that whole season of, you know, Arsenal, in the studios, you know, downstairs.
Hearing that they want to rent their own bus AFTV bus, a parade bus.
And they want us on the
If
bus.
they
They,
would-
want
I
us
get it.
involved.
Mm.
Why didn't they
Mad.
put us on the
I'll
bus?
be on the side of the bus.
So I can flatten the tyres.
I'll be throwing eggs at the bus.
I'm hearing there's a bus and we've got to, for some reason, be involved because
There's
we're
no
part
way
of
we're-
I'll drive the
part
bus.
of the-
I'll drive it all
What?
the way
And DR
to
Sports.
Manchester.
My brother.
Robbie shouting down like,
I'll be, you know,
Mitch, from the motorway, what you doing?
You know, Argentina in the World Cup were there to duck. I wouldn't be ducking, fam, if I was on
Yeah.
that bus. I'd be letting that lamp
Oh my
slap me
God.
straight in the head. I'd be off that bus, on the floor,
Quick
done.
Costaport. You'll be going home in the St. John's blood. Big up to them, man.
Let me say that obviously the 3 o'clock match has started, but the reason why I ask it is because I think I don't know any Liverpool fan who wants or who would prefer Arsenal to win it over Man City. I think most would prefer Man City to win it. But I wonder if it's because if Arsenal, for Liverpool fans, if Arsenal win the league,
Yes.
does that taint or put a stain on what Liverpool's achieved over this period? Where it's like Liverpool fans looked at it as
It's more of a stain to City for not being able to beat Arsenal.
No, I hear
That's
that.
what it is.
But it's Liverpool fans who have a feeling about one or the other.
Bridesmaid
So I'm
situation.
asking why they have that situation. Is it because Man City? Liverpool fans said, it was so difficult for us to beat Man City, and we did it. We were the reason why Man City didn't win the league for 5 years in a row. And then Arsenal come and do it with Arteta's
That would
twiddly
be
wigs.
horrible,
And
bro.
then you're looking like,
That would be horrible.
The youngest
Jurgen
team-
Klopp,
youngest team in the
Arteta, you got one each. Like, is it that insecurity that maybe Arsenal and Liverpool,
Maybe it
we're
is.
not that good. That's
maybe
what I'm
it is.
saying. I don't know.
Conversation.
No, for me personally, I
a lot
want
of
Man
time
City to
trying
win
to
the
get
league.
to that point,
I
but I hear
don't
you.
want Man City to win the league. I don't, because it's 3 in a row.
There you go.
But
Speaking of 3, the 3 o'clock games have started. We are underway. Let's go straight into the lineups for these games for you. Let's go to Wolverhampton first. Jose Sarr in goal, Semedo right back, Dawson, Kilman, Ait Nouri at left back, Lemina, Neves and Nunes in the midfield with Sarabia, Cunha and Hwang Hee-chan as well. On the bench, listen to some of these names, gents. You've got Collins, Jimenez, Podence, Castro, João Moutinho, Traore. So they've got a lot of options from the bench if they need them. I'm looking at the Liverpool team for the first time as well right now, guys. I haven't seen it yet. Okay.
You excited?
Wow. I don't know if excitement's the word. But hopefully we don't lose with this team. Alisson, Trent, Matip, Gomez. I was thinking maybe Nat Phillips could have got a shout today, but no, Gomez is in. Robertson, Thiago Bajcetic and Keita with Salah, Nunez up the middle as well. Just how I like it with him and of course, and then
Finally
Gakpo
Klopp.
on the left. Milner, Henderson, the Ox, Jones, Elliott, Tsimikas, Carvalho, Phillips and Kelleher on the bench. Still no Bobby Firmino to come back off and help Liverpool. Still no Diogo Jota as well. And Luis Diaz, of course, too. But there's your Liverpool lineup against Wolves today. Let's see.
Finally, I think it's good to see Klopp's finally switch those two around. I know Nunes just come back from injury, but that's
I think this was the game to do that as well.
That's a good sign.
Let's go to Aston in Birmingham to see what the lineup is for the Leicester game. As I said, bit of a Midlands derby, this one. In goal, you've got Emi Martinez. Ashley Young retains his place at right back. Konza Mings and Luca Dean at left back. You've got Buendia, Kamara, Douglas Luiz and Ramsey in the midfield with Bailey and Watkins up top. Coutinho on the bench. McGinn on the bench. Cash, Chambers. Oh my.
Go.
1-0.
Oh my God, there's a goal!
Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Molyneux. Wolves 1, Liverpool 0 after we were just going through the team and saying just how nice it was from Klopp to be making certain changes. And it's 1-0 inside what? 1 minute? 2 minutes? 3 minutes?
Good God, man.
5
My
minutes.
word.
Liverpool
This is a-
team.
Own goal from Joel Matip.
Oh my God.
God dang.
No Konate for months, Van Dijk for out as well. And already
Gomez twerking.
some sort of individual error has taken place. Yo, where's Matt Phillips when you need him?
Life's so short.
I don't want to go to court.
Klopp! Come outside! Yo! Listen.
They're saying in the comments, you look like you're going outside with that jacket.
Hey, listen. How long is he going to...
VAR review, by the way,
Can't
at
keep
Old
getting
Trafford.
away with it.
This is a strange weekend already, isn't it?
AGT,
I love it.
what is
Shots
going on?
everywhere.
I
Yeah,
love it.
cheers. AGT loves Klopp like his dad says 4 sucks. Big up to you. What, I don't know what you're sucking 4 times, but love nonetheless.
He's angry now, guys.
Pro
Don't listen to the comments.
F2D. Liverpool in the mud identifying as hippos.
Bow. Bow. Bow.
That's a good one.
That was a bit wild, that one. I didn't-
4
That is so crazy, man.
For United. Production, can we get our screens up, please, in here? Thank you. Loserpool from MJ Power 05. Jurgen Flop says Gideon and Paradise City in disaster.
Penalty at United.
And it's a penalty for Manchester United.
Yeah, handball.
Penalty for United. Unbelievable start to the Premier League games here. It's a handball and it's a penalty to United within the first 5 minutes. I haven't even got through to reading all the lineups. Do we even want to hear them?
Yeah, we can read the Man United line. I can say it.
Go on, then.
David De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, and Shaw at left back. Fred starts in the midfield with Casemiro and Bruno Sabitzer on the bench. Anthony, Rashford, and Weghorst. Martial is injured again, which is very
How many games
frustrating.
did he miss this year? 20?
He just came back against Forest.
Does he play?
He came back against Forest for 10 minutes and got injured again.
I think it's time to let this one go. I know Man United fans like Martial and they want to continue to keep backing.
No, he ended the season.
It's done.
End of season.
1-0 to Manchester United. The goal has been scored from 12 yards out. It's a penalty, and it's scored by the captain, Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
But Weghorst, Anthony, and Rashford up front. Sancho on the bench. He got a lot of love when he came on
He
against
played in the
Manchester
10,
United.
I heard.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't watch because I knew the tie was already
I
done.
never sold my stocks.
Yeah, never.
I never sold my
You did
stocks.
say that.
I warned them.
Do you think number 10 is the future?
Well, as long as
that's-
Bruno's still performing,
But Bruno could come off the right. isn't he?
this is what Ten
Bruno
Hag said.
on the-
He said he can have Sancho in the 10 and Bruno on the right,
And
but
he's on the bench.
he wants them to interchange. So it's not a right wing and a 10. So
Because
Where did
I
Sancho
like that
play
as
at
well.
Dortmund?
well,
Off the right, yeah.
Right,
And this is the thing is, I feel like Bruno on the right has brought out a little bit something different in him over the last couple of weeks. But I think it's also what you said there, that interchanging gives them both the freedom to say, you don't have to do a specific set role. Because I feel like Sancho at Dortmund, he had that little bit of
freedom.
life,
He moved on the right, he
freedom
become
to
on the
go.
left.
I said the reason, in my opinion, why I think he hasn't worked at United, he came into
A mess.
1, an absolute mess. 2, managerial changeover. 3, you got chased for 2 years as the star signing or whatever, and then they go and shoehorn Ronaldo last second. And then he also takes your number. So now you're forced to wear 25. 2 + 5 = 7, Sancho. What? Like, come on. And then also it's like, I always think when you're a youngster and your star is almost rising, and then eventually you get hit with the first slump in your career, if you like. I always say it's how you bounce back. So for me, I said the interesting thing I'm looking for now is to see Jadon's mentality. What is actually happening?
Goal for Aston
and
Villa.
How does he bounce back?
Yeah.
Production, can we please get the screens and the chopping of the cameras a little bit sharper, because Fuad was talking there and no one was onto him.
Ollie Watkins has scored Aston Villa 1-0 up against Leicester. Goal alert there. It's going to be very, very interesting to see this Midlands derby, and it's a big game at the bottom. I mean, I guess because both teams still need to continue to keep pushing. I think they're at the top end of that bottom 7, but the points is very close between the bottom 7 teams. I believe it's like 4 points max splitting them from the relegation zone. So either or need a win in that game if they can get it in that Midlands derby. And Ollie Watkins has put his foot down on 9 minutes and put them in the lead.
Are they still in problems in terms of relegation?
Leicester are still in problems. Yeah,
In terms of relegation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. I think for me, I think from 14th down is something like 4 or 5 points separating them. So anybody in that pack, which Leicester are in, are definitely involved. I think Palace are fine. Obviously, Chelsea, Liverpool.
We're talking about relegation. Chelsea,
We're
Liverpool.
just trying to get to 40 points, bro.
No, don't give me this.
Humble.
Absolute right. No, don't talk to me about humble.
Are
You
you-
just
are you-
spent 323
you're not on 40
million in
points
January.
either. Yeah.
Listen, stop trying to do this.
No, bro, seriously. You guys always say that we have to be more humble, right? And we need to...
No, because I know what you're doing, bro.
I'm
I know
not
what you're doing.
bringing... Bro, I don't like to say these things, but I have to. I have no choice. I don't like to say these things, bro, but I have to be real with what I'm watching, bro. We're in relegation form, so we have to get to 40 points first.
I know what you're
People are always
doing.
like, oh,
I
you have
know
to go
what
on the
you're
bro,
doing.
I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not doing anything smart, bro. Genuinely.
All I'm saying is, Matisse, if you lot end on 40 points, you better not come in there celebrating.
Why would I celebrate that?
Because you say that's what your target is, isn't it?
Bro,
Your aim.
I'm just saying, I walk before you can run. We ain't even got a win yet, so let's get a
Oh my God, we're
win.
2-0.
What's going on at Wolves? I get this on the screen. I need to see this live on TV. What's going on?
Oh my days.
We-
Craig Dawson.
They keep saying you'll
Hold
never
on, is
walk
that Craig
alone.
Dawson from West Ham?
Yes.
They signed him
New
in
signing,
January.
New signing.
Ooh.
Wolves 2, Liverpool 0
Hey.
at the Molineux Stadium.
Real men are winning today. That's
Real
all
men
I'm
are winning.
saying.
You'll never walk alone.
See Craig Dawson? Real men right there.
Oh my goodness. You will never walk alone.
He was at West, was it West Brom before
days.
West Ham as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Listen.
He's about it. He's about
This
it.
is his life.
He's about
Relegation
it. But what
scraps,
I-
bottom
what I
half of the
said-
table.
Every time we try to take the headline with this whole 10th place thing, and we think, okay, now Liverpool
Hey,
going.
man.
They keep copying us.
Hey, man.
It's getting annoying.
Don't throw stones from glass houses.
Goal for Leicester.
1-1.
James Maddison.
Oh, he's back. Brilliant. It's lovely to see.
Oh my days, Liverpool, man! What are you doing to
This
me?
is insane.
Why do you
James
try?
Maddison.
Why do you do this to me?
James
when I'm
Maddison.
on a stream like this.
Equaliser.
How comes you do it to me?
1-1.
I just don't get it.
Leicester.
The timing of it.
Midlands derby.
Madness.
Great start, by the way, to the 3 o'clock kickoff.
Oh, it is. It has been. Yeah.
Loads
Because
of
sometimes you
goals.
get
This
these
is
3
what I
o'clock kickoffs
love.
where nothing happens for like 45 minutes. No,
No, seriously, what's going on with Liverpool? I actually wish we could see this. What is actually going on? This is insane. They're 2-0 down.
it insane?
Inside 12. No, it is.
I mean,
Like,
in terms of, I'm not expecting 2-0 down, but I wasn't expecting Liverpool to win this game.
I had them as a draw.
I didn't have them as a draw.
Really? You had them as a L? As a
They,
loss?
they played Wolves twice already.
That's true.
They should have lost at Anfield
Talk
in the
about
first
it,
in the game, and then they went to a replay. They deserved to win that. Fair enough. Then you played obviously Brighton. Deserved to lose that game. You played better than you had against Brighton previously, but you didn't play well against them. This was always going to be a tough game. Away at the Molineux. Listen.
But 2-0 down.
No,
in
2-0
10
down for
minutes.
12 minutes is a disgrace. That's a disgrace. But
Oh man, this is honestly a horrible job when you are talking about your team live as it happens.
wow.
Can we get a score update
Let's
in
get
the
the
chat
scores updated as well on the screen.
Yeah, AGT needs a paper bag for his
fantastic.
face. What are you saying about Arsenal now, AGT? We're laughing at you. Big up to you,
Arsenal
Dan C.
dropping. Chelsea dropping.
Apparently, it's a
Liverpool
great
dropping.
finish as well. Wish we could have seen it, to be honest.
I want Man United fans to just calm down a bit, because this is what Man United fans are going to do. Now they're going to start doing if, buts, and maybes. If Elise didn't score. If we had kept out Nketiah. Those games are gone, guys. Those games are gone. Now we just need to focus on the
Top
games
four.
ahead.
You need to get
well,
top
top
four.
four is the most important thing
Yeah.
right now, because this title race talk, the title
There is
race
no-
will
there
take
is-
care of itself. I'm not interested in that particularly. I want to win the next game, and we got so many games coming up in quick succession. We have to win this game. Let's
It's
get
not
this
about
game
title
over the
for you,
line.
Title talk for you. It's about season the trophy. You've got Carabao Cup final coming up. It's still in the FA Cup, in Europa League.
Yeah.
Win as many of those trophies.
We're
as
in
you
Europa
can.
League for
Finish top
now.
four. It's a great season.
We're in Europa League for now. It's a
For
tough
now, you
game.
got Barcelona.
We got a final coming up.
Yeah.
Let's take one game at a time.
Everybody's taking one game at a time at the moment, aren't they? I'm taking one game at a time. You're taking one game at a time. You're taking one game
I
at a
think
time.
you two ain't even taking
Arsenal
games
taking
at a
one
time.
game at
You
a
lot are
time.
done. The two of
Cheers.
you. You're finished.
Can we get the camera
Yeah.
changes a bit choppier? Nix is
Yeah.
talking and we're just not even looking at him. Come on, man. Right, let's go to last night then. Chelsea versus Fulham. Chelsea now have a 33-man squad. Do you think Potter can manage a squad that big? He made a joke yesterday when he went into his press conference and said, "Wow, there's a lot of you in here." And they said, just like your squad. What do you make of how he's done so far, and can he manage a squad this big? Now it's your time to get cooked. Let's hear it.
You ain't gonna have nothing to cook because I'm gonna cook them for you. Listen, so you just get your napkin, get your knife, and
Yeah,
fork,
yeah,
and
yeah.
get ready to eat.
I'm
my
ready,
brother. When it comes down to us managing a 35-man squad, it's going to be interesting. I don't personally think it's going to go swimmingly. I think there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road. There's a lot of players that are not going to be happy. Aubameyang's already been left out of the Champions League squad. I'm very interested to see how he reacts to that. From a professional standpoint, obviously he's not going to be playing Champions League football now when we play against Dortmund, etc. And I think that's a clear sign from Potter that you're not in my plans. I don't really particularly want you here. He didn't sanction that signing. That was Tuchel. That was Tuchel's guy up front. And I was never for the signing in the first place because it stinked of short-termism. It was another service striker that needed a lot of chance creation. We don't provide that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like saying that you're gonna have 5G, but there's no signal. Do you know what I mean? You got no signals. You ain't got no service. So for me, when I look at the situation, I think to myself, we signed some good players, some great players. I think Enzo is going to be a great player for us. I think Felix, when he comes back from suspension, I'm expecting to be a great player for us. But walk before you can run. And Potter, wow. I mean, some of the decisions that were made against Fulham, You know what I mean? In terms of the build-up play, like just in terms of average position, where I saw players positioned when we had possession in the back four. Gallagher and Mount were almost like playing as second strikers, playing in the front line. It was like a 4-1-4 or 4-1-5. Like I genuinely don't understand where the midfield has gone. Why are they not dropping deeper and getting involved and making the spaces a lot closer to link up?
Well, one of the position maps I saw where Mount was literally standing on top of Midrich.
Yeah,
Midrich.
Mudryk.
Calling him Midrich. I'm just going by the streets. I don't make the rules.
This is the second goal, I think.
Honestly,
I think this is the first goal. Cunha crosses it, and wow, this is shocking defending.
Dawson's one.
Awful defending from Liverpool.
Wow.
Back to Chelsea though.
So I had a massive issue with the midfield. Enzo's playing as a 6. Right.
That's what I was going to. Please,
I'm gonna lay this
because
out.
106 million for defensive midfielder.
You don't spend 106
crazy.
million. You don't spend 106 million for your new, Galactico signing to go play Regista. Do you know what I'm saying? He's meant to be playing higher up the pitch. For me, I already said it. He's an 8. You want him playing higher up. You want him next to a DM, unshackled, given the license to pick up the ball and make those final passes. Why? And obviously we do have injuries, but you got to find a solution now next game. I don't want to see Mount. I don't want to see Gallagher.
Zakaria.
All right, so who is this DM that he's going to play next?
When Zakaria's back fit, you put him in there. If Trevor Chalobah, maybe you have to put him in there as a stopgap. Even Reece James has played midfield before, but I need to see Enzo in his strongest position. I don't want to see Enzo picking up the ball off the centre backs and playing it into Gallagher and Mount for them to go and mess up the attack, or underhit or overhit the pass.
It's so interesting that you say this because
if that's the case,
because when you were signing him and people were talking about, oh yeah, we need a defensive midfielder. And I was
he's not a defensive midfielder.
I don't know him. Don't get twisted. I don't know Enzo bar the World Cup. But I was looking. I was like, but I'm sure in the World Cup man was forward. Didn't he score a goal? He did like a little jink inside.
How was that game?
Jinky
okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Qatar.
And I was like, but you're not talking about DM. It's okay. Fair enough.
I'm with you on this. But then I'm like, argument actually.
When I actually deep, people were like, yeah, he's a great midfielder. He won the player of the tournament or a young player tournament. And then I said, 106 million. Now I don't care if this guy goes on to be a world-class midfielder career-wise, but Partey costs 40 odd, Rodri costs 60 odd, Casemiro costs 60 odd. These are the best defensive midfielders in the league.
He's not a defensive midfielder.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how are people getting excited about this 106 for a DM and you ain't even got a striker?
How much is Bellingham going to cost?
Well, he's not a DM.
How much is Tchouameni cost Real Madrid?
Tchouameni
So
probably is
€100 million. So Enzo is not a 6. That's the point. So we need
number 5.
Well, I don't really care about squad
you
numbers.
Just got the shirt.
I've seen people wear a whole heap of numbers and play a whole heap of different positions.
Forlan wear 5.
I've seen Gallas wear number 10.
I've seen Milan Barros wear number 5.
The point is Enzo is next to a DM. So if you get that DM in the summer or you use Zakaria or whatever, but you need to be playing Enzo.
DM in the summer.
We don't have a DM. What DM? We just sold Jorginho.
No, they needed to sign basically 2 midfielders. I felt like in that central midfield area.
What? Surely
more money.
322 million.
Let me ask you something. If you sign Bellingham for 100 million, are you gonna still play Fabinho next year?
Because the thing is what we're mistaken is for what Chelsea.
Let me ask you a question, Matisse.
Well, you don't spend but if you spend 600 million, you got to get your stuff. You got to get your playing.
Trust me. Replacing signings that they're already replacing. Like all the forwards they've signed is because Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, all these ones haven't worked out. Lukaku, Werner, Havertz.
Yeah.
They're almost replacing those, if that makes sense. The midfield, I feel like, was actually an area Chelsea needed to address because you had Jorginho aging, you had Kante aging, you had Mount who's been underperforming, Kovacic who. Anytime he gets to the final third, he gets a nosebleed.
Gallagher's not good enough.
Yeah,
never has been.
So I always felt like they needed to get bodies in there. What they did in January though was they signed every other area and then
at the end, let's go.
And then said Enzo. I went.
But as you can see in my opinion, the chance creation, Enzo was needed. Enzo was not a signing that wasn't needed. We need someone who can pass the ball. Look at what you're seeing from Mount and Gallagher on a consistent basis. They're not able to pass the ball.
But I just think if you spend 300 million in a window, how can you not?
Correct.
Exactly.
That's my question.
Fill the position.
There's no excuse. No, it does. Even if you can't get a position, because even Liverpool, they didn't get a midfielder because they feel like they need to get it in the summer. So I don't mind that. There's no excuse for not being able to beat Fulham at home, regardless of whether you have the right defensive midfielder or not. There are plenty of teams in this league who don't have everything they need. We have enough in that team And enough on that bench, you got Sterling coming on. You got the new signing Madueke coming on. You've got all of these players coming off the bench. Chilwell, Reece James, all coming back from injury now. I'm expecting better results. I'm expecting plan, and I'm expecting build-up play to look like build-up play. Why am I seeing Brighton with 2 centre-backs and 2 in the double pivot right ahead of them, a nice 4 connecting the dots moving through the pitch? Why am I seeing Zinchenko tucking in and Arsenal form a back 3 and then they have a double pivot in front? And everybody's building up properly, but us, we can't build up. I'm seeing Enzo by himself, and then I'm seeing this big gap, and Mount and Gallagher all the way up there looking at the shed end. What's going on? It's not making sense.
It's got to come from the manager firstly.
Exactly,
I think he's had a bit of an issue getting his ideas across in general since he's come in. But then also, I think when you've had, as you said, a 300 million window, you're not going to gel it overnight.
323 on 8 players
323
in January. That's more than clubs in Italy,
it's not
Germany,
going to
France,
gel
and
overnight.
Spain.
And I do hear it. You do have to beat teams like Fulham, but. Listen, man, you win some, you lose some. You know what I'm saying? It's the way the Premier League is. Why are we acting like all of a sudden like Fulham are a bunch of scrubs?
No,
all the season we were rating them as like they're the darling team doing well all of a sudden.
He said you should be.
You should be winning. You should still.
Not this season. Not this season.
Fulham are a good team.
This season,
I'm not expecting Chelsea to finish 10th. After what they've done in January, I'm expecting Chelsea to get themselves back into the top 6 at a minimum. And to do that, you need to beat teams like Fulham. After the relegation form that we've been in, you need to now step that up. So over the next couple of weeks, when Felix is now back from suspension, etc., players are coming back fit, I'm expecting to see results. I'm not expecting to see champagne football for the whole 90 minutes. But let's also bear in mind, you had 2 weeks off that FA Cup. We didn't play a game. So where's the progression?
Yeah.
Who is improving? Where's the coaching? I need to see improvements.
Well, you played Fulham 3 weeks ago, lost 2-1, went out and spent 350 odd million, and you haven't improved since then. How quickly will Todd Boehly demand success, and how, with that instant kind of cash injection, will he want success as soon as it can possibly be delivered? Because right now, they're already talking about Potter maybe in a bit of a balancing act now.
He's got till Christmas to save his job.
New players and also till Christmas.
Till Christmas, in my opinion.
That's
I think he'll be given till the end of the season. I think this season is pretty much a write-off for Chelsea. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, they're looking at it like the season where they finished 10th. If we can do something in one of the cups, Champions League, I think is the only one you're left in. Yeah. If we can do something in that, fair enough. But this season, it's just gel the signings, essentially. Yeah. Let Badiashile get minutes under his belt.
Kept some clean sheets. So
100%.
Badiashile has looked like your best signing so far. But he wasn't included in the Champions League squad.
Bro.
And I get it. You got Modric, you got Enzo, you got Felix, and you want to include them. But you need to be a balance.
Yeah.
Because you can have all this attacking talent on the pitch, but he's been your best defender. Well, his best signing anyway. Thiago Silva's still a monster.
But they are the biggest difference makers, let's be honest.
Let's not forget
Felix, Modric and Enzo
as well, by the way.
Yeah, he's been injured. You would know how that.
Oh, Wesley. Yeah, Wesley for fun. They got another one. They got David, isn't it? As well?
Yeah, but the thing is, at centre back, though, you've got Koulibaly, you've got Fofana, you've got options there. I feel like in the forward positions, they're starving. That's why you had to register.
Been bad.
He has been bad,
but you're giving him 300 grand a week. You're not gonna not register him for the Champions League. So it's a thing where earn your money. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's a thing where.
Badiashile's taking care of the Premier League.
But I think just back to the Potter thing, I think he's got basically he'll be given the pre-season. And then it's basically next season, I think, is when the lights are bright on him, basically. Chelsea have to be playing fluid football, have to be competing for the Champions League, and can't lose a single game in the group stage, as far as I'm aware.
And you need to be top 3 in the Premier League.
Yeah, easily. Like Chelsea were under Tuchel after they won the Champions League. You've got to be in the mix for that title hunt, in my opinion. And if he doesn't, I can see Jose just waiting in the wings right now, saying, "Hey, one more time."
Would you take Jose back?
No.
Okay.
No, the time's gone. It's not 2007 anymore.
Judas.
That's a very nostalgic.
Yeah.
But no, there's no. I know you're trying to push it, but because you just like
this
chaos.
This is how they talk about their goats. This is how they talk about. You see, who's your They got no respect.
No respect for their elders. Your goat is Pochettino. Do you want him back? Because when I saw the argument with Abby, you was talking about
Tuchel's goat stuff with Spurs.
Poch is a goat.
Being a goat at Spurs ain't nothing.
He's a goat. Bar.
What Jose did for your club.
Bro, for you to be in the Champions League final, what did you do for your club?
Don't let that go over your head.
You do realise you went to a Champions League final on the
They called him washed. Yeah? They called him washed.
Don't forget our goat.
Back one.
Don't forget our goat managed Manchester United and then managed Tottenham, right? So that's a couple little...
Right.
little bit of a knock.
There was a couple of stops on the way.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah,
no shame in
there
that.
is a shame in that. Going
Why
to
is there shame in
Tottenham,
that?
of course,
Why is there shame in that?
because it's our rival.
At that point of his career, people were saying his stocks had fallen. He
Right.
wanted to prove something, went to Tottenham, got to a cup final. Bozo sacked him 6 days before a final. Hold that L. Yeah? He did his job. Yeah? Then they said, oh, he's fallen off. He can't do it in England. Went Roma. They said, oh, watch him. He's going to fall out of everyone. Introducing youngsters all the time. First ever Conference League winner. Only manager to win Champions League, UEFA Cup, every UEFA competition. Brother, stop this.
Man, the UEFA Cup and the
You lot
Europa
don't want
League.
Jose? I promise you, Newcastle will go and get him. And when Newcastle
You need to stop
get him-
disrespecting Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe hype. Eddie Howe.
Oh my
hype.
word.
Recency bias, man.
3-0.
Almost 3-0 to Wolves here, and the game could be over
God.
now.
This is so open
my
at the
God.
Mullen. Like,
What is going on?
Honestly, this is painful, man. Chelsea and conversely, Brighton are solid proof that you can never buy instant good football, says Amir with the super chat. Thank you very much. Let's give you a little bit of an update to where we are then today. So, half an hour into the 3 o'clock kickoffs, obviously we know Everton won, have beaten Arsenal 1-0. Aston Villa 1, Leicester 1, Brentford 0, Southampton 0, Brighton 0-0 at home to Bournemouth. Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 0 at Old Trafford, and of course Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Liverpool 0. I can't believe it. A cross comes in from Robertson, it's a header from Nunez, chance for Trent maybe, and it's well over the bar.
Man United played
well over the bar.
Man United played well so far, which we expect. Zaha's not playing, he's injured. I didn't even.
Is Alicia and
I didn't even
Eze
realise.
on that pitch?
Schlupp. I see Schlupp at left wing as well. Eduardo up front, I think it is. But yeah, Weghorst had a header. That was a good save from, I'm guessing it's Hennessy. I have no idea. It was
No, it's
Guaita?
Hennessy.
Is it Hennessy? I have no idea.
Navas?
Goita?
Oh no, sorry.
No,
Palace. No, Hennessy's at what's it called now? Forest.
Oh, so
That's why they bought Keylor Navas, because Henderson got injured.
I said Hennessy.
Yeah, Hennessy's at.
Hennessy's at
Oh, is that Forest as well?
Yeah,
So
Oh,
they got
okay,
three.
that's
They
what
got
I'm
three like.
Okay,
proper
okay.
goalkeepers.
So Guaita, it must be Guaita
Hennessy,
and go.
Yeah, it must be.
Henderson,
But yeah,
Navas.
he's a good save
Who would have
from
told you in
Weghorst.
goalkeeper training you'd be seeing Navas, Henderson from Man United, and Hennessy together?
Navas, man. One of the most underrated keepers of all time.
Yeah, yeah. I ain't got the stats, but Man United should be about 2-0 up by now, to be honest.
That's mad.
XG, is that your XG?
No, just by analysing the game. 2.3 actually.
That's definitely XG there. Klopp losing the plot, saying was lost but now I'm found. AGT Crymate, well and truly humbled, says Dominic MCR.
Roundup shows gonna be great.
It's not. Liverpool back to the basics FC, says Hussein. Trent is looking like a sideshow Bob. Nowadays, not going to lie.
Would you take a point now?
No. Why not? Go for it. Why not?
Screen frozen.
Why not?
You got
Screen
to.
It's
frozen.
crazy.
You got to take a point at this stage back.
What, 27
You have to
minutes
take a
in? Am
point.
you asking me to take a point?
Yeah.
With less than half? No, man.
Yeah.
There's still
There's enough time
to go for
I'm with
that.
you, Alex.
Liverpool
I'm with
fans
you.
have not yet accepted where they are.
I'm in
they have
denial,
not yet
you know.
accepted
I'm
who
still
they
in-
are and what they may be.
Do you know what? Liverpool fans are still going through that phase of
Denial.
This ain't reality.
Yeah.
We're just going through a phase.
Yeah.
We'll work this
That's
out.
exactly
They've been
what is
cheated on.
happening.
They've
I'm
been
like,
cheated
yo,
on all season.
once
all
we get
season
that-
long, they've
Bro.
been cheated on. But yet they still go back and they're like,
See
we
your
can
girl
make this
moving-
work.
You see your girl with her man on the high street, like, no,
Bro.
they're just friends.
They're just friends, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo,
Full on.
I'm telling you.
Just
They're
try-
still,
they just work.
Everything.
they're still talking about we need one midfielder. I'm telling you, it'll fix everything. It'll fix everything. I
We need
promise you.
5. All we need to
Bruv.
do is go on one holiday. I swear.
Virgil ain't coming back. Salah ain't coming back.
One holiday,
People
we'll
love
be fine.
each other.
Yeah. Let's get a dog, please. Anything. Let's get a
This
poodle.
is a bit too close for home now, so I did get a dog, yeah? So relax your mouth.
Yo.
Met my dog as well, I'll tell you.
Oh my goodness.
Two Kelly Ban says Potter still thinks like a mid-table manager. The job is too big for him. Drop points to West Ham, lose to Dortmund. Fan base will turn on him. Facts.
Oh, two Kelly Ban needs to sort out his profile, man. Every time he comes into my live chats,
Bro,
his profile is
what is
moving
that picture?
wild.
Crazy.
You've seen it too.
Is that
He's in all the
What?
chats, just moving mad.
I saw him on the big
I can see
the
some.
other day. I said, big man, you got to change
some
that.
breasts on.
Yes,
on
and it's not Patrick breasts.
Patrick the Starfish.
Patrick the Starfish.
Do you know what I'm saying? That ain't
Hey,
chicken
man.
breast.
Starfish. Can we get a refresh on this screen, please, production?
Matisse.
ATG is
Sorry.
deluded. Not actually my name, but I can't take credit
Matisse,
for that.
do you think Chelsea fans are
Accepting, understanding.
denial?
no,
as well?
No, not even that. Do you think they're kind of teetering on the Potter out? I don't think they're saying
They
it.
don't want to admit it.
Yes, but I think most of them are like, you know
closing
what?
in.
You can get rid of him.
Before
I don't
you
really
even
mind.
answer, understand Chelsea fans didn't want Tuchel out.
Yeah.
So they're already coming from a stance of, who's my man? Who let him in here?
Yeah.
Are you even qualified to be here, big man? So then now when you show you're
Have you got
not
the
qualified,
facilities?
brother,
Listen.
pack your bags and go.
Because no Chelsea fan has given, if you really
you lot
believe in a
make me
manager or a
laugh.
project, and you can say, no, these are the reasons why X, Y, Z. I ain't heard one Chelsea fan give that for Potter.
Because Potter hasn't got that.
Yeah.
He hasn't got that clout. Do you know what I mean? If Graham Potter's coming in as a former Brighton manager who did a very good job in his last season, highest place finish, but he hasn't earned our kind of like undying loyalty. Like he hasn't done anything
Villa.
as of yet for us to be like, oh yeah, this is where we got to stand.
Goal for Aston Villa.
Yes, 2-1 to Aston Villa. Goal. Wow.
Oh, and on his debut,
Jesus.
Harry Souttar, the giant centre-back
what's
for
mad?
Leicester,
Leicester centre-backs like
has
the own goal,
scored
innit?
an own goal. They love
World
an
Cup,
own
I
goal.
kept saying, I hope he gets a big Premier League move, Harry Souttar. But you know, like when you're thinking it ain't really gonna happen, he actually ended up at Leicester, is it?
No, yes, at Leicester, yeah.
So he's replaced Vestergaard, I imagine.
Yeah.
Then?
He wasn't even playing anyway. I don't think.
Yeah, he's on the bench.
Evans injured nowadays.
Yeah, but on Potter, he doesn't have.
Yeah,
that,
we need to
he doesn't
refresh
have
this
that,
stream if possible.
He doesn't have that love yet, where you get that under.
You have to earn that,
You have to
though.
earn that, exactly. So I think right now I'm in a position where I'm not sure if he's going to work out, but I want to give him ample time. And I think there's no point sacking him now because, in my opinion, you've just brought in a load of new players under his recruitment with his new staff. Let's see how that materializes. But the expectations are going to keep ramping up. He has to show that he can handle that and actually not make a new system every Brighton game, one game a week. You got 2 games a week most of the time at Chelsea. You should do at least, and if you don't, then you're going to get criticised for that. So you need to be able to settle on a team, settle on a formation, get the team playing, and go from there. But I think...
You think he was behind the signings? Or was he getting
I think he's involved.
Was he getting
He has to
updates
be.
from Fabrizio Romano like the rest of us?
He has to be involved in some capacity because there's no point bringing in players for a manager that doesn't want those players. But I do think he's a first team coach who has a recruitment team ahead of him like he did at Brighton. And as long as they fit what he's trying to do, he's going to be fine with it. He's not a scout. One thing I will say on him is the bare minimum I want from him is that he's cleansed the team. So what I don't want is someone to come in, instant kind of success, which would be in most people's eyes top 4, which is not success because it's not a trophy, but that would be saving maybe some of the players that were meant to be discarding. I want a lot of sales in the summer, a lot of players to leave that I feel like have been clogging up space for a while, and then we have a fresh new young team going into next season. If he can't make it work, you get another progressive up and coming manager or whoever that people want, if it's Dan or whatever, but at least they have a team that for me is tailor made for an attacking manager with players that are hopefully not limited. So yeah.
De Zerbi.
Someone in the
This guy.
I like that. That was good.
Kingsley, although Kingsley in the chat here has just said Hansi Flick to Chelsea with the super chat. Would that ever be something you'd be interested in? Former Bayern Munich in Germany.
I'm not sure about Hansi
Current
Flick.
Germany manager.
I know you got the treble with Bayern, but
Much like you, right, where you're saying you're not even entertaining it. I'm not entertaining it personally. From the
Big
moment
up to you. I
start
respect that
entertaining
answer.
it,
I
the moment
respect
I
that
start
answer.
entertaining it, then I must be thinking about him leaving, right? I'm
No,
not thinking
exactly.
about that right now.
I respect that
He
answer.
does need to fix
That's
up.
an AGT answer, isn't it?
100%.
Love it. Matisse wants to copy the Arsenal blueprint, basically. Says
No, not
AM.
really.
Arsenal fans
Not really.
are upset. No, sorry, I gotta say, Arsenal fans are so obsessed. Everything that another team does, it must come from Arsenal.
Yes,
it's
yes.
based on Arsenal.
Yeah.
And even when Arsenal ain't involved, they make themselves involved.
Yes.
You can tweet.
But did they?
Great. Well, look, example. He mentioned, Fuad mentioned Enzo's scanning. Arsenal fans, Jorginho.
Jorginho scan.
Man United fans say,
Ten Hag
you're all right. You're
Ten
thinking-
Hag gets to a cup final in his first season.
Arteta
Arteta did that.
I did already.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about
No one's
Arteta.
talking
Like,
to you.
relax,
No,
brother.
But do you know what's funny?
Enjoy top of
Do
the
you know
league.
do you know what's funny? And I
That's
say
it.
it all the time. You see this blueprint? It's not completed yet. Have you sealed the deal?
It's not
did you
even
win
their
the league?
blueprint. Like,
it
they're the
done?
first team to ever rebuild.
Is it done? Like, if I'm gonna follow a blueprint, I'm gonna need to see Premier League, Champions League lined up of right, that really does work. Like you've done it at all levels. You ain't even played in the Champions League yet. You ain't even handled 2 games in a week, Champions League to
Facts.
Premier League,
Facts.
and you're talking
They've
about
had
blueprint.
19 good games.
And you're talking about
That's
blueprint.
literally what happened.
Can
There
we
were
calm
19 good
down?
games,
That's it.
and
About
everyone should follow
blueprint.
them now.
Like, Can we walk?
Do you know what?
before we talk
Yeah,
about
it
blueprint?
was like Robbie goes. To be fair, we're like the
Legacy.
2018 Liverpool.
What was
I was
it?
like, bro, but by 2018,
We delivered.
What was that time?
Well, you reached Champions
League final in
Europa League
2018.
finals before,
Yeah.
and the Champions League final 2018.
Bro.
You're not even playing in the Champions League football.
Bro,
Like,
what was that?
come
What was that
on,
time I
man.
saw on DR Sports clips? Are we afraid of an Arsenal legacy or some nonsense like that?
Win one.
The word
first.
legacy was involved somewhere.
Legacy?
Yeah.
What in the world? What?
Win one first, and then you can start talking about legacies and dynasties.
What? Dynasties, yeah.
You just say, congratulations, well done. You know,
Bro,
congratulations.
you just praise them.
Well done
Well
so
done
far.
so
So
far.
far.
That's it.
So far.
You're doing a
Well
great
done
job.
far. Listen,
But
Arsenal
all of
fans-
this dynasty
Arsenal
talk.
fans were saying swear
Hey,
back.
Lord.
Man United. This was at the back
I'm
end.
dying at this.
Jesus.
At the back end of last season,
Gotta
I
laugh,
think it was.
otherwise I'll cry.
Man United should follow Arsenal's blueprint in terms of rebuilding. And I just said, like, respectfully, we are not you. And I say that to say,
Yeah.
in our rebuild, we can sign Varane and Casemiro. You are 3 years without Champions League football within your rebuild.
One FA
No, no.
To then
5 years.
No. I
6 years
say within
without
the rebuild.
Champions
So Arteta.
Oh, okay.
3 years of that rebuild. No Champions League football in between. And you don't have the pull to be able to make those big signings throughout your rebuild. If Ten Hag finishes 8th and 5th, I want him out. I'm not waiting because it worked for Arteta. We are not Arsenal.
So far.
Oh, so far. Sorry, so far. It worked for
Working.
Arsenal so far. I'm not waiting that time. We're built differently. So you do your thing, and
Well, Neeks,
for your
we've got
sake,
a comment for you here.
let us do our thing. If Chelsea want to spend 300, let us spend 300.
Oh,
If
Timo
we want
Werner
to spend
scored.
70, we'll spend 70 on a Casemiro. Let us do our thing, innit?
Right, KD says, Neeks, come on. As if you guys wouldn't say the same if it had happened with other teams. Too much hatred, KD says. $5 US dollars, super chat.
You know what I said when Arsenal fans said that? I said, I'd rather follow Liverpool's blueprint for rebuilding. I don't want to spud
No,
it
it's a
with,
spud, though.
with Liverpool
It's
stuff.
still-
With Liverpool,
No, but
I'm a
you
bit-
have to spud.
I'm a bit- But
Yeah,
I hear it. But
I
I'm
respect
saying
it.
they won a Champions League and a Premier League. That's when I say my rebuild is complete, I'm challenging for Premier League titles and winning Champions Leagues. Finishing or challenging for top 4 and then being top after 19 games, top at Christmas, is not my rebuild. It's really not. So I'm just saying, innit? You lot do your thing, we'll do our thing, and let us all enjoy it by ourselves, innit?
Arsenal think
Job
they are
finished.
Jay-Z with the
Job
blueprint.
finished.
Far from it.
Great
Big
album.
up Tiz. Great album. 3 great
Three,
albums.
yeah.
Actually 4, because there was Blueprint 2.1 as well.
I don't think I heard that.
What's
no, it's a
basically
sick album,
happening
right?
is when Rashford got that celebration and he just claimed it as his own. And now Djokovic is on the tennis court doing it and he's like, yeah, see, kings, both
Allow
of
it,
us,
bruv.
kings.
Like no one's ever
Sharing
pointed to
him
their
on
head
Instagram
before.
story.
Ruben Neves, yeah,
Trust.
doing it years before.
Time ago.
Sam Awa doing it years
Listen,
before.
yes.
You did- they
Those
did it
that
first.
remember,
But you're
yeah, even
right, Fuad.
Lisandro Lopez at Lyon, yeah,
09,
did it years before.
Yeah.
Fuad,
Rashford
they did it first.
influence hype.
They did it first.
Get out of here, man.
But Rashford
Don't
did it
give
best.
me
It's
that.
not about who did it first.
We don't care.
It's about who
Is
did
that
it
Rashford's
best.
blueprint now,
You
yeah?
ain't
Is that your
applying
thing now,
it.
yeah? You're claiming it, yeah?
The red print.
You know what,
Red
man? I'm
print.
trying to run around with the remix like
Yeah,
it's their track.
remix, yeah, like
Brother,
it's- yeah,
you're on the
100%.
remix. Relax.
So his remix bangs, but you're not going to give the originator
Some-
credit. You're not going to give
sometimes the
credit. Is that what you are? You're not going to give the
Sometimes
originator some credit.
remix is better than the original.
Your remix can be good. It can be
80% of the time it's not.
But it's sometimes.
okay, but you're
You're
going to
hanging on to the 20s there.
But are you going to give credit?
What you give credit for? We don't have to give credit. Everyone else is giving the credit for him.
Anyway.
It's not Ruben Neves
Forget
tweeting Rashford.
giving-
It's everyone else.
No. Forget giving credit. Have you got your chain back?
Have
Have you got your chain
Man
back?
says, "See,
Because
man."
certain man went to the Emirates. Try to do this.
Mix it in the foil.
And Saka said, hold on a minute. Come here, blood. Pow. And he said, hold on. I'm in the room as well, blood.
Anyone was weak still.
Have you
Anyone
got
was
your
weak.
chain back?
That's still Rashford. It's still Rashford.
Rashford got crashed.
Yo, just imagine Neves just standing behind Rashford, put the chain on, wear it for a little while, wear it for a bit while you're
and
in
then
good
Keita,
form.
come on. Give me that, old
This is
man.
the old season celebration. You ain't even got the new one yet. Smokey Settings with a super chat. AGT, bet you can't beat Robbie in a football debate. Well, if that debate is about Champions League, titles, then I'm sure I could. If it's about being invincible, then I definitely can't. Absolutely, no way.
Oh my God.
Villa running ting, says Daniel Cena. Villa 2-1 up, still at home
Well, no,
as we
Emery
approach the second half.
Of
Kimmich.
player of manager of the month. They gave
Facts.
it to Arteta for
No-
2 wins and a draw.
Yeah.
Emery got 3 wins and a draw, including beating Spurs away like Arsenal did. Come on, man. You don't want it all.
Why is
1-0,
Neeks
1-0.
on this? He's bare annoying, says
I know,
Joseph.
I love it. That's why they want me.
This is why he's back on.
1-0 Brentford.
1-0
AGT
to
vexed.
Brentford. And also 2-2.
1-0 to
2-2
Brentford.
in
Oh,
the Leicester game as well.
Okay, and 2-2.
Wow.
Leicester have just equalised.
Right,
Kelechi and
I think
Nacho
that was
just after
wow.
we were saying about
That's
how
an
good Villa
unbelievable
is.
game that is at the middle. I actually saw
the game?
goals in that game as well. It just
Hope-
felt like there was goals in that game. Aston Villa versus Leicester.
I hope this one ends up being 2-2 or something similar, but we're not getting any picture on
He's
this
asking
at
for the
the
draw now.
Taking a draw
Times
now.
think that he wants the draw.
Sneak that one in, innit? I asked him 10 minutes ago, would you take a
But
draw?
Matisse,
And now-
you gave it to him. You're not having it now.
Yeah.
It's too late.
No, you go for
Hey, you have to hold the L.
Okay,
No, you have to
yeah,
hold the
yeah.
L.
We'll try and win then.
You have to hold the L.
We'll try and win then.
2-1 at best.
It's mad.
2-1 at best.
It's mad.
Listen, it's time for them forwards to step up, man. I haven't seen Salah wheeling away in celebration in many days.
Well, he hasn't done it in 2023. Hasn't scored.
Haven't seen Gakpo yet. I haven't seen
Who?
Who? Yeah, that's what.
Wakpo.
Wakpo at the minute.
Yakpo. Because he plays drunk. Nyashpo.
Relax.
Nah.
Look at this defender now. It's so bad.
I feel sorry for Gakpo.
Hey, listen, Gakpo was my guy when he was at Holland.
Liverpool
Not
didn't need
anymore.
him. Bro, or that wasn't the priority position.
Nah.
Like, what?
Do you know why I turned on Gakpo, yeah? Because it wasn't a signing Liverpool needed to make, and it was not a move he needed to make. It was one of those, I thought, he looked at it and thought, oh, I can
you're not
maybe
gonna say no, right?
jump
That's
on a
the
winning
thing.
bandwagon
Even
type of
party.
thing. Maybe I can be the
we're
life
not gonna
spark.
say no to Gakpo for 35
No,
mil.
Liverpool could say no. I think
Liverpool
Liverpool should
Liverpool
have said no.
I'm sorry,
I think Liverpool should
Salah,
have said no.
Darwin, Diaz, Firmino,
Jota.
Nunez,
How many of them are injured?
Bro, I
Doesn't
don't
matter.
care.
Doesn't
Two?
matter.
I don't
Four.
care.
Doesn't matter.
For the last month,
This
four
is
of
where
them have been injured.
coaches coach. Yeah? When your first teamers go down, B players step up. When the B players go down, do you have the coaching ability to trust the youth? You lot been hyping that dope kid? Cool. Let me see Klopp with the dope kid up front. But they don't want that. They're like, nah, give us another star signing. Gakpo did not need to be signed. And I'm telling you, when everybody's fit, he'll be sitting on that bench wondering, why the hell did I come here? People thinking you lot signed the next Dirk Kuyt. Nah, brother.
Dirk Kuyt.
Nah, brother.
Wow,
I'm
the
sorry.
pronunciation is all over the place
Mud.
for that one there.
Mud.
Dirk Kuyt.
What?
Dirk Kuyt.
Just
Dirk
you're
Kuyt.
you're
Carragher used
spitting.
to score them. Case. Anyway, Adama Traore is on now for Wolves. Number 11, Huang Qian, has gone off. And yeah, Ben Mee got the goal for Brentford at home to Southampton. Brentford on a real roll right now. And Aston Villa Leicester looks like there's a mini classic going on there as well. Just as we approach half time, what is the standout score for you at the minute? Obviously, there's no point in asking
Wolves
that. is there?
versus
yeah,
Liverpool, I think,
exactly,
for me.
for sure.
Brighton, Bournemouth for me. Great game.
Yeah.
So, do you rate Gakpo though? Because
Oh, let's not go down
Here's
that road
okay.
again.
Here's what I'll say. I thought Gakpo had the potential to be
Why not?
good in a functional
said
system.
this, haven't we?
AGT don't wanna talk
I've said
about
in
Liverpool.
Literally
PSV,
just
in
said that's all
PSV
of
he was
this.
like a winger, get down the byline, whip it, and people might look at him and say, "Oh, he's 6'2" or whatever. He shouldn't be on the wing." Brother, he's got a deadly whippers on him, and that was his bread and butter.
Brentford 2. Southampton 0. They've doubled the lead and they've scored 2 in
how
the
are we
last
gonna
5
catch
minutes.
these
Sorry
clubs
to
in West
interrupt you there, Fuad. You're making the same point
no,
twice
good.
though, so it's fine.
good.
Johan Wissa with the goal for the Bees.
2 players down
the
at
Saints.
Wolves. After they just subbed off
clubs.
one. Neves is down holding his ankle. He's up now.
The problem they're going to
Having
have
a
is
chat
they're
with
gonna try and
Thiago.
play him in every
Someone
position
Yeah.
across the front line.
even in the
And-
8, I heard.
Yeah.
Where is
So
Gakpo
that's
playing
what
today?
I've already heard
Playing through the middle.
Left
or
wing.
Them in 8.
Liverpool fans are suggesting they should play him in the 8 because of his
he's
height
tall.
or whatever. I'm like, bro, you don't do
Tall
this.
and mixed
Don't
race,
start
looks like
fixing
Bellingham,
square
innit?
pegs into round holes, man. Like, the
It was
guy's a left
Mbeumo with the
winger
goal, not Wissa.
and can pop up in the middle.
Oh, what a horrible, horrible 45 minutes this has been for
Bro,
Liverpool.
these West
so
London
far.
clubs are out of
Brentford move
control.
up the table.
These
with
West
that.
London clubs are out of
great.
control. Brentford and Fulham holding it down for West London.
That's
Yeah,
G-Tech
you're the
Stadium.
only ones that aren't.
Well, we've been holding it down, innit, for a while, so
Oh,
Now
God,
you're just
this
down.
is just
Now you're just
horrible.
down.
give it to them for a
This
season.
is horrible. He-Chan clapping the fans as he goes off injured. Adama Traore just came on and now it looks like he's injured as well, as is Ruben Neves. That's maybe 3 injuries in 5 minutes for Wolves here.
So Liverpool just say basically we can't play football, so let's take them out.
Potentially,
Take
yeah.
him out,
I
take
mean, I'm
him
not
out.
there, so I can't confirm it. But that's what I'd be doing. That is what I'd be doing. Right, let's go into what our Premier League predictions revised look like as we approach the half-time here on the Saturday Football Show. I wanted to play a clip for you guys before the season started of some of our DR Sports regulars with their predictions. All right, so let's have a look at this one and then
Let's break it down, right?
Jeez.
Each of you give me your top 4.
Okay.
Starting with you, Doyle. So who wins the league?
Liverpool. I'm not going to back.
Well, I didn't think he'd say that. Right, so Liverpool win the league.
Liverpool, City, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, United.
Oh, you give me your top 6, Matisse.
City first, just again. It's going to be painful. Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, United.
Neeks.
Listen, I'm in a tricky situation because if Liverpool win the league, they've got 20 like us. If Man City win the league, they've got 3 Premier Leagues in a row, which we're the only teams have done. But I hate Liverpool more. So Man City to win the league.
What about Arsenal winning the league?
I hate you lot a little bit less. But I've got to be realistic. Man City first,
Yeah.
Liverpool second, Spurs third. You know what? Arsenal fourth.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, Arteta should be sacked. Chelsea fifth and Man United sixth.
Same as me, lads, except.
Yeah, but
Abby.
would that
Go
be
on, Abby.
Spurs first?
Go on,
It's hard
Abby.
to split
Go on.
because I feel like City are going to have all their focus on the Champions League, whereas I feel like what's more important to
The
you
Prem now is
is
we
the
want the
Premier
Prem.
League.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And they both mess it up every
I had it in my head, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to go Liverpool to win the league. This is a last-minute change. City second, Spurs third, Arsenal fourth, United fifth, Chelsea sixth. Because I have a feeling you might sack your manager this season.
Chelsea sixth.
All right, I'm going to go.
That hurt.
Obviously, we haven't got a City fan here. I agree with you guys. Again, you can't separate them. They're both. I think I'm going to probably give. God, it's difficult.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Because our City fans not here, I'm going to. No, I can't.
Just say Arsenal. You know you want to say it. Just say Arsenal.
Zoom in on him.
I wish I could. All right, I think I'm going to have to go. That's going to slightly edge City. Liverpool second.
Say it.
Arsenal
it.
third.
This guy.
Tottenham fourth. Chelsea fifth.
I like this.
And Newcastle sixth.
You've got some IT.
Watch out, Newcastle.
Yeah, because you're at Madison. They're gonna
I think they're going to be a dark horse this
They've
season.
barely done anything in the window. I'm
They're gonna sign some
disappointed.
players.
They're going to be a bit of a dark. They've got a good. Listen, I remember when we played them last season, man.
Yeah, they were
a good side.
Yeah.
So as you can see, 2 of our regular DR Sports members predicted that Liverpool would win the league, Doyle and Abbey, which is a howler from them, sadly to say. Right, let's do our revised top 4 now. We've heard what pretty much, well, you two had to say in that video, plus Abbey, Doyle and Robbie. Revised top 4 now. It's going to look very different, I assume. Fuad, let's go with you first.
City title.
Is that because of the result today?
No, I could just see the second half of the season springing a few surprises, and I think, I don't know, man. Something about Arsenal. It's just not. This is the best year they have to win it, but I don't think it's also going to be their year. I feel like. But they will be there or thereabouts over the next couple of years anyway, so it won't be their last chance. But I think City will win it, Arsenal second, and the gap won't be too huge. I think third will be Manchester United. Fourth will be Newcastle. I think fifth will be Spurs. And then sixth will be Chelsea.
By the way, whilst we were just away, Leicester scored another goal to take it to 3-2. And that is now half-time in all the fixtures in the
What a
Premier League.
game.
So just run through your top 6 again for me quickly.
So, City, Arsenal, United, Newcastle, Spurs, Chelsea.
So Liverpool not even top 6.
Who?
No, I agree with you.
Please.
Matisse, are you going with a different outcome to what you predicted back in,
Well,
that was probably August?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I didn't put my team any higher than fourth. Thank God.
You've actually come out of this okay.
I'm all right, yeah. I think Arsenal, I mean, listen, I'm more than happy to admit that Arsenal is a shock from the ages. Do you know what I'm saying? No one expected them to go from double 8th to 5th and then 1st. That's crazy. More than happily take that. I'm going to stick with City at the top, though. Purely got to manifest it. And I just got to. I have to. More than you can believe. Arsenal in second. And then Man United in third. Now, this is where it gets tricky because Newcastle, can they really hold on? It's going to be tough.
I think so.
Can they hold on?
I don't see why they can't. I think
Who did they sign in the window? Did they bring in?
No, but Isak's coming back second half of the season, which is basically
yeah.
like a new signing.
They
He's had a
brought,
great impact in the last couple of
that last
games.
spot's going to be really, really tight.
I look at us and we're the other team competing, you would say, in there.
I don't
and
trust you, man.
I don't trust
Bro,
us.
again, as
at
per
start
usual-
of the season, I predicted us 6th. So me putting us 5th is an improvement, if that makes sense.
Gordon,
So
Anthony Gordon signed.
you
but-
ain't tricking me with
I think
that
Eddie,
one.
I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie actually gets a lot
Something out of him?
Yeah, get something out of him, yeah. I wouldn't be
don't
surprised.
I could see them nicking it. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's going to be down to the fine margins. But I am going to... I don't trust you guys. You guys are playing awful football, man.
I think the Carabao will decide a lot. If Newcastle win the Carabao Cup, they lose Champions League.
Yeah.
I think if they don't win the Carabao Cup, that fuels them
That's a good
to
point.
get Champions
I
League.
like that
in my
argument.
opinion.
I like that.
Because I've seen where teams I remember Swansea once upon a time were competing for Europa League, got that Carabao, and it was like, we got our achievement for the season type of thing. And I think Newcastle, obviously not having won many trophies, they would obviously use that as an opportunity to be like, you know what, we've had a bit of success this season. Let's recuperate, start again next year. But yeah,
I'm gonna go.
big decider.
I'm gonna go Newcastle 4th to just scrape it. Then I'm gonna go Brighton.
5th.
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting.
Brighton in 5th. Then I'm gonna go Chelsea 6th, Tottenham 7th, Liverpool 8th. Yeah.
Wow.
Fulham, Brentford to make
You
it
got
top.
Chelsea finishing above Tottenham.
Damn.
Just about.
By
I don't
the
know,
way-
but that's just me again hoping
That one is like, you lot basically pulling off.
a decent run. We have to. I have to. I have.
I can see you lot
If
getting
we don't
back
do
in,
that-
but I don't see you lot getting that
6th.
rhythm.
If we don't even
of-
finish top 6, then Jesus, what is going on? Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Just got a text from my Liverpool mate saying LFC need to cease operations and pack it in. Which leads me on to my prediction for the top 4 now. My revised prediction for the top 4. I'm going to go with City, Arsenal, Man United, Newcastle as a top 4. With
City.
Tottenham and then Chelsea in 5th and 6th. Liverpool nowhere to
So you
see.
got Newcastle top 4 as well.
Yeah, just.
What about
Hanging
you?
on.
Where's Liverpool? With Brighton, Fulham, like what? ahead
This
of
was
those?
only a top 4/top 6 prediction, so I don't need to divulge where
The
I think
abyss.
Liverpool will finish, unfortunately. But there's me.
Damn.
Neeks. You haven't looked at the fixtures.
Oh well, no, I was looking at the previous results to support the argument that I was going to make.
Did they support your
They
argument?
actually do. 'Cause I was going to say it, and I was thought, let me just double check. I've got Arsenal first. Obviously, I had Man City in the prediction. I've got Arsenal first. I think, this game makes it a bit dodgy after they lost to Everton, but I'm not convinced that Man City are necessarily going to go beat Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Therefore, Arsenal's going to have still that gap on them. So I'm going to go with Arsenal first. Man City second. I think Man United will finish above Newcastle. I would be very, very surprised from the position that we're in.
Yeah.
Level with them. Obviously, at the moment, if we win this game, we go ahead. But level with them, having played the same amount of games, we're going in one direction. They're not necessarily dropping, but they are stalling
Clinging.
a little bit.
Yeah.
They're stalling a little bit.
Clinging on.
So my statement was going to be that they've kind of hit a bit of a wall when it comes to scoring goals. Since the turn of the year, they've scored 7 goals in all competitions in their last 9 games.
Yeah.
So that's
why I'm not sure.
That's
on them.
less than a
but
goal
who
a
do
game.
you put in there?
So
who
for
can
me,
you trust?
when we're talking about goals,
Tottenham.
Spurs have goals in that team. Kulusevski's back. He is so important for them. Kane
Porro.
is doing what he's doing, and he hasn't stopped doing it. Richarlison ain't scored yet. Son ain't doing nothing this season, really. They brought in Danjuma. I think their forward line will be good enough to get them 4th ahead of Newcastle.
I think if the defense does what they did in the second half of last season, where Dyer, Davis, Lloris, they all went through these incredible purple patches, which tricked into everyone thinking that's their actual level. But now they've almost restored back to default settings. If they keep these default settings till the end of the season, no matter how many goals we score, I always feel like we're going to be penalised. And you look at every big game we played, United, City,
I hear it.
we've capitulated because of individual errors.
And Newcastle's big
That's
benefit at
what's
the
cost
moment
us.
is their defence. They've been brilliant at the back.
Does not leak.
But I just think, yeah, they are struggling to score goals. And I think by the end of the season, we're talking another 19 games in the league. Obviously, they're benefiting not playing
Gordon might have a few
competition.
deflected goals in them.
But I think they're going to hit a wall. So yeah, I'll go Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Spurs, Newcastle 5th. Oh, see, I want to say Chelsea 6th. You can't spend 300 million in a one transfer window, 600 in the season, and not improve.
It's too talented to fail.
But I looked at the game yesterday, and you didn't really improve. But it's one game.
Yeah.
Fulham's ahead of you. Brentford's ahead of you.
Brighton.
All three of them.
Brighton.
Brentford as well.
Brentford, Fulham, all of them.
Oh
man.
God.
Yep.
The whole,
All right,
the whole lot.
But I do think there's enough time left in the season. You'll
Chelsea
go
are
out.
ahead of us.
You'll go out. You'll go out of the Champions League soon enough. Maybe not against Dortmund. Maybe against Dortmund. Maybe not. But you'll go out soon enough that it's not going to really affect you in terms of 2 games a week. I think with the squad that you've got, you should finish minimum 7th. Minimum Conference League. You know what? I'm saying 7th. Because I want to see Chelsea and all those millions in the Conference League.
You should be finishing minimum 6th, I'm not going to lie.
So yeah,
Got to be a title challenge next season as well with that money, in my opinion. AGT, please, Klopp just resign or sack Pep Linders. Simply, this is horrible.
This man,
I don't understand this.
all
they
he did
still
was write
blaming Pep
one book.
Linders.
All he did was write one book, and it's all his fault.
This Pep Linders slander, I think, is it's a bit.
It's
It's a bit.
easy, it's cheap. It's the easy route.
It's the low-hanging fruit.
It's the low-hanging fruit. It's the
deflection
easy
tactics.
route.
And
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
saying he
deflection.
doesn't have greater influence than he used to. I'm not
So
saying that.
disingenuous.
But
It's-
Klopp is the boss. He's your subordinate.
Klopp
If
told
you-
him to write the book.
What is it? If you can't control your subordinates,
Sorry?
that's on you.
Klopp said you should do a book. Klopp said
That is not said enough by Liverpool fans.
I've said
Thank
it.
you for revealing
That's
that
all right.
information. I will be running with that on Twitter
AGT,
for the
comma, you are a muppet, says Ali One.
Okay.
Big up to you for watching.
Can I just say on the predictions?
The same way he instructs his players out on the pitch is the same way he instructed Pep to write that book. So the self-destruction of Liverpool comes back to Klopp.
Yeah, again.
Or is it FSG?
Sometimes things come full circle, gents.
Can I say on the predictions, Robbie? Like
He took
what-
him up there, and he will take him straight back
Down.
down.
What's the old saying in Batman? You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
I was gonna say Robbie's predictions. He did all right, you know, because he wanted to give Arsenal more credit, but he was a bit scared. He wanted to put Arsenal like top 2.
He should have.
He wanted to
With chest.
but he didn't. He
That's
said
what you
third.
do.
And then he said Newcastle's gonna be the surprise source, dark horse, which he right. But he didn't have Man United in top 6. Robbie, I need some answers. Robbie, I need some answers. You didn't have Man United in the top 6, but you're not alone. Because there's a lot of people who did not have Man United in the top 6.
I did.
I only had them 6th.
Let's
But
get
a lot
on
of you
to
had
our
top
predictions for the other end of the table. By the way, over 3,000 of you watching right now, so make sure you're smashing that like button. Just before we get into the relegation revised predictions, big up to Franz for this comment. DR Sports is the best show, so elite, diverse and comprehensive. Thank you very much. We like to do our best. Right, the relegation predictions. This is what we thought at the start of the season. Let's see it.
It's going down.
Fulham, Bournemouth, Southampton.
Okay.
I'll be wrong this year. but-
Matisse.
I agree with Fulham. I agree with Southampton. I think they've been very, very, very poor for a while. And every single time towards the end of the season, they just fall off out of nowhere. And I haven't seen too much recruitment. Leicester do look weak, but I'm going to go Fulham, Bournemouth and Southampton. The South Coast are going to take a hit.
Fulham. Yeah.
Oh, poor Fulham, man.
Fulham getting
man. It's
battered.
long.
And the season hasn't even started.
I'm gonna go Bournemouth as well. To be fair, I haven't actually followed them during this like transfer window, so I haven't done much business that I haven't seen, or maybe just come under the radar. But I'm gonna go Bournemouth. And my third one, it's hard for me to see it, but it could happen.
Brentford.
I'm gonna go Everton.
Fulham, I like Mitrovic. He scored 47 goals last season and like 13 assists. He's going to be sick in the Premier League. He's going to be a different Mitrovic that we've seen. But I still think they just don't have it. I think Bournemouth are going to go back down. They're going to go to a 10,000 seater stadium. It's massive. That extra fan in the Premier League is what gets you over the line. And I think Southampton, losing Brozier, they're going to get sucked into that Premier League and they're not going to escape it this time. I think it's going to be up between them and Leeds.
Well, apologies all round to Fulham. You see. They currently sit in very nicely in 6th or 7th in the table. Just round off your your initial predictions for relegation again for me.
I had Bournemouth,
right,
Fulham,
right, and Everton. Okay. Revised predictions.
Listen, that Everton shout was decent.
It
I'm
was.
not gonna lie. Neeks knows balls. Put it in this chat.
He's surviving now, though.
Read the
Yeah,
room, read the room though, bro.
I wasn't expecting Dyche. I saw Lampard taking them down, and they obviously threw a curveball, brought in Dyche. So I'm gonna keep them out of the relegation zone. I will go Bournemouth, Southampton. Who's out? Who else is down there?
Fulham sacked their manager as well, didn't they?
Wolves are down there right now.
Not anymore.
Well, yeah, cheers.
That's a tough one. You know what? I'm gonna say between Nottingham Forest and Leeds. That last one. I think West Ham and Everton will be alright.
Well, this one could surprise you, but my revised ones are
I'm going Leeds.
Everton. I still think they'll
Still
go
think
down.
Everton will go down?
Still think they'll go down.
That's not the Liverpool you talking. Or maybe Liverpool.
Maybe. Have I got any Liverpool left to talk? I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to go with Everton, Bournemouth, and Southampton. 2 teams from the South Coast. Matisse,
Definitely going-
remind us of what you went with originally.
Can't even remember. I'm thinking it was Southampton.
Fulham and Southampton.
Fulham
Fulham
and
and
Southampton.
Southampton. Yeah, Fulham was in there,
I think you said
unfortunately.
Bournemouth as well.
Bournemouth, yeah. Fulham, yeah. So I'm keeping Bournemouth. I'm keeping Southampton.
2 out of 3.
Obviously, it's not Fulham. Fulham definitely shocked everyone. Did Fulham not sack their manager as well earlier in the season?
No, Bournemouth sacked their manager.
Bournemouth.
started
Gary
Scott-
O'Neill.
Oh,
No, they
yes.
sacked Scott Parker.
Yeah.
Nah, I brought in
Gary
Gary
O'Neill,
O'Neill.
yeah. Southampton sacked their manager.
That's it,
Ralph
yeah.
Harlan,
So Bournemouth, Southampton, and then that third spot.
Chelsea sacked their manager.
Chelsea?
Chelsea sacked their manager.
No. Chelsea sacked their
Joke.
manager.
It was a joke.
Wow. Can you imagine?
That might be the greatest story ever. We'd need a Netflix documentary made on that if Chelsea somehow. Let me know. It's wishful thinking.
Getting
but
too excited now.
Let me not get too carried away.
Who is down there? I can't even get the league table.
Wolves are there, Leeds are there, West Ham are around that area as well.
That's my go-to.
West Ham.
West Ham.
I think if West Ham have almost missed the moment to get rid of Moyes, and I thought Dyche would have been almost like the we're going back to brand, to what we know type of thing. I don't know. I think they might have missed the boat, and now it's a sinking ship.
You think West Ham go down?
I think they might go down.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they will.
Everton survive. I think with
I'm gonna have
Dyche.
Leeds.
I look at Leeds. I know Leeds.
Leeds.
Looks a bit funny, but I think they've got enough talent in my eyes, and I think
So do West
the
Ham, though.
players buy into the coach enough, in my opinion. Whereas West Ham, I'm not sure that's the case. I'm not sure the fans believe. I'm not sure the players believe. I'm not sure even Moyes believes himself, to be fair.
This is West Ham's next 3 games. Newcastle away.
Yeah.
Chelsea at home. Spurs away.
Voila, yeah.
Probably
I'm
a good
thinking
thing
I
that they're not at
choose
the end.
Southampton, Bournemouth, and West Ham are my 3.
Sky says West Ham might get relegated if Moyes is still the manager. Do you think that the time to sack him was right in front of them? And they were too
Literally,
loyal
you had
and-
the World Cup period,
Yeah.
and then you had the
Yeah.
window period as well, and all throughout that he was still stinking the place up. So you had no excuse to kind of keep him around. You stuck with it now. I think now they're going to ride with it to the end, basically, but it's not, in my opinion, looking good. I think Forest, I look at them, I think they'll stay up. They have enough quality. I think Wolves, I trust Lopetegui to do just about enough to keep them up this year. Yeah. Leicester might be another surprise one I think could get dragged in as well, I'll be honest with you, but survive last day type of thing. But West Ham, you heard it here first.
Well, there you go. West Ham to go down, says Fuad. Let us know in the comments what you think. They are our revised predictions for the top 4 and who we think will go down here on DR Sports. Right, the second halves are pretty much all started again. Can Liverpool find 3 goals to overturn this horrendous first half against Wolves? Let us know in the comments right now. Is there a chance for Liverpool relegation, says Agrigorkis Nitrokis.
What a day
Good
that
name.
would be.
Surprised Liverpool are saying that we need to hit 40 points too.
Well,
Guys need to get involved. Man.
Again, still not living in reality though.
Yeah,
You know?
you get involved. Honestly,
That doesn't really happen until March, April for me.
What are you guys on? 29 points.
Around that, yeah.
Villa are
just get
literally
involved.
Villa throwing away that lead is keeping Liverpool in the top half of the table.
Oh, beautiful. Very nice. Yes,
not over
Aston
yet,
Villa
though.
2, Leicester 3. Right now, 5 goals in the first half. That's a goal.
That's crazy.
Every 8 minutes on average. Quick maths.
Quick maths.
Very quick maths. It's the only one I know. Salah looks homeless, says Nathan in the comments. Liverpool missing some firepower. Come on, you Spurs, says David Bowles. We will be previewing Tottenham versus Manchester City a little bit later on in the second half with Daps, the Manchester City fan. But right now, let's go on to the January transfer window. This is the first time really that we've had since the FA Cup has come and gone, since the window has finished, where we can look back on it. I've just got a text saying, let's hear Matisse has given up on his YouTube career. Here is him, a clip of him in action yesterday on Best of Enemies. Let's play that before we do anything.
Previously. Save the bridge! Save the bridge!
Save the bridge!
Chelsea have now submitted a bid more than £50 million for Marc Cucurella.
Save the bridge! Save the bridge! Save the bridge! When it comes to Wesley Fofana at this point, the money is only going up. Yeah, the fee is only just rising and rising at this point. We need to save the bridge!
Yo, big man, you got some peace for Roman Abramovich and them, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
The Chelsea board are now in Poland trying to reach verbal agreement with Mudryk and Shakhtar. Official bid ready, close to £100 million.
Yo, fam, they need peace, fam. They need the pounds, some dollars. We'll take some Ugandan shillings, fam.
Enzo to Chelsea is on, and it's a here we go.
Save the bridge!
Yo, Todd. Yeah, the takeover's complete. It's all mine, boys. It's all mine. You see, I was in Best of Enemies today. That's a terrible time to be out in. Bro,
yo, listen.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy about that?
Yeah, that time.
Nobody ever feels sorry for the rich because they can always spend their way out of problems.
That time.
You guys will spend your way out of problems. So for now, you must suffer.
That timing is a bit
You must suffer and you must enjoy the fruits of the consequences that you will have right now. And like I said, it's going to get worse and worse.
Yeah.
And just enjoy it. Embrace it. You know?
Yeah. Mudryk has been taken off at half time. That's not good for the online. It's going to be mad. Yeah, they're going to cook him. But here's what it is. They're going to cook the crap out of him. So you guys are watching the watch-alongs, yeah?
Of course.
Cool. Noted.
Who isn't right now?
Noted. Oh my days.
Who isn't? But there you go.
Painful. Terrible timing.
Terrible timing.
I think
but
they
good
knew what
acting.
they were doing there. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't acting, man. I'm shameless. Like, I was enjoying that. That was such a great scene. Such a good scene. It's so good to see expressions. Because, let's be real, that whole Save the Bridge thing, we couldn't even run our Barclays cards. Employees were getting laid off. Do you know what I mean? Shop was closed. Couldn't even buy a shirt. No. Do you know what I mean? People were losing their jobs. It was tough times. So I had to make sure that we responded with the money. So, you know, we may have drew, but we still rich. We still rich. It's all mad. It's all mad.
Goodness me. Well, as I said, the second halves have started now. Let's go back to who had the best January transfer window. Let's round up a couple of names that were brought in for Arsenal. As we know, Trossard, Kiwior and Jorginho. The ins for Chelsea, a ridiculous list really. Fofana, Badiashile, Santos, Felix, Mudryk, who was taken off at half-time yesterday due to having a cold. Madueke, Gusto and Fernandes all brought in for Chelsea, whereas Liverpool brought in Cody Gakpo. City brought in Perón for 8 million from Sarsfield in Vélez. United brought in Jack Butland on loan, Wout Weghorst and Marcel Sabitzer all on loan. Newcastle, Kuol, Gordon and Ashby have been brought in. Forest as well. They've had a great window, have they not? Scarpa, Danilo, Wood, Felipe, Shelvey and Keylor Navas. A few Champions League winners there. Well, actually, just the one. And for Tottenham, Danjuma on loan. Soonsup Bell as well. And, of course, Pedro Porro brought in for Tottenham. So, to answer this following question, who has had the best transfer window? Let's go to Fuad to start with. Who do you... obviously, listen, time will tell. But right now, as we look at it, in January or in February now, of course, who has had the best transfer window for you?
Without a shadow of a doubt, Chelsea. Like, there's no question. When you talk about a club that's had an overhaul pretty much of the entire squad within the span of 6 months, new right back, new centre back, new left back, new centre mid.
8 names brought in.
It's crazy. And every single player I think they brought in is under the age of 24.
23, around about that.
Very long contracts as well. So it's a case of, even if they don't work out for us, we can afford to loan them out for 2 years, catch form, and sell them on for a profit still. So, in my eyes, when you talk about like from a business perspective, every club wishes, I'm sure, that they could spend that kind of money.
It's FIFA career mode.
It's literally
FIFA career mode.
FM, FIFA career mode. So there's no way you can look beyond Chelsea as having the best window, in all honesty. People might say, oh, but you don't know if some of these are going to work out or not. And it's like, they're in a position where they're rich enough to afford to be able to, if it doesn't work out, it's all right, we'll try another one. No problem. How about it didn't work out 2 years ago? Oh, it's all right, we'll go and get Felix.
By the way, Timo Werner scores today.
Yeah, we saw earlier, yeah.
Just
but yeah, I would say it's hard to look beyond Chelsea.
Potentially. Time will tell.
Especially, the one thing I will say about Chelsea's window is I do think it's the players who aren't being signed for the big money that are probably the best players you've signed.
Andre Santos, Badiashile.
I don't even know too much about Santos, but I would say Badiashile, Gusto, and Madueke. Everybody's looking at João Felix and Mudryk. Look at Madueke. That's the one that I think is going to shine probably the brightest, in my opinion. I think sometimes you get caught up in the big names and the bright lights that you almost forget, oh yeah, we signed this guy for 20 million, and he just proves to be worth every damn penny. Badiashile, 35 million. I've been saying at Spurs, when we were faffing over Bastoni and Guardiola in the summer, I said, Badiashile is right there at Monaco. Nobody in Europe is aware of him. Go and grab him now. Spurs fans are saying, who the hell is that? Now 3 games or 4 games at Chelsea. Oh, who's this composed guy? And he looks brilliant on the ball and he can put a foot in as well. You look well enough, you can find this, and for good prices as well. Gusto's another one, I think. Is he still at Lyon?
He's on Lyon at loan.
So he'll finish his loan there till the end of the season,
innit?
But when he comes next year, Reece James, go and take your 3 months off. No problem, I promise you. So I think there's some gems that you lot have signed there outside of the big names as well. Than Enzo and all of that. Your window, man.
For Fana to come back from injury,
That's
James
the dream.
Chilwell, hopefully. Should be exciting. Hopefully.
Who has had the best signing of the window? The individual signing that makes you get off your seat.
I mean, it's on a technicality. It's Sean Dyche to Everton. For me,
I like that. That's a good shout.
I think Wolves have had a good window in terms of they're in the relegation zone. They've signed a few players to try and get out of that, or relegation battle, should I say. Nottingham Forest similar. I think Bournemouth as well, they've signed a few players trying to get out of that relegation battle. Everton didn't sign any players. They lost one in Anthony Gordon. I know they tried to get Conor Gallagher.
Tried to get Andre Ayew as well.
Tried to get Danjuma as well, and then Tottenham.
And it's all doom and gloom. But they got Sean Dyche in, and I think his appointment is bigger than all of Wolves signings, Nottingham Forest signings, or any signings they could have made without changing the manager. Because I think he, for me, will be the reason. If they stay up, he's going to be the reason why they stay up, and nothing else. So, not talking about a player, Sean Dyche for me is the biggest.
If we are talking about players, who have you got? Or maybe we switch up the question, say, who of these players would you have liked to have signed?
Well, we obviously needed a midfielder. I mean, Enzo Fernandez would have been brilliant.
Next to Casemiro. Jesus Christ.
That would have been
Would be
something.
nuts.
That would have been something else.
Yeah.
We got Sabitzer in. We'll see how that goes.
I think that's a good one.
I think it is a good.
I think it's an underrated one.
Considering
for
the restraints we've had financially this window, like they're not spending nothing. We got in a
He's
a
someone
loan for
I wanted at
Weghorst.
Spurs as a replacement for Ericsson like 2-3 years ago when he was at
And
Leipzig.
we've got him as a
Now you've
replacement
got
for
him,
Ericsson.
literally.
For me, we should have got him regardless whether Ericsson got injured or not. So it's kind of one out, one in until April, May in terms of Ericsson returning. But I like that signing. If I could swap anyone, that would be Enzo. In terms of players that were signed, we need a midfielder in the summer. We needed one in January. We got Casemiro. I'm sorry, in the summer gone.
Yeah.
And we need one at the beginning of January, and we got one at the end. But yeah, Enzo for me would have been the one. Don't know if I would have been wanting to pay 106, but
40 million up front, man. Don't worry
just
about
in terms
the
of a player, Enzo Fernandez.
Amortization hype. The one I would maybe say, I think, pound for pound probably looks like a good signing. Trossard.
I would agree.
I think Trossard could be one of the. Here's one thing I'll say: by the end of the season, he will push Martinelli out of that starting lineup. I promise you that. Especially after signing that big contract now as well. Watch Martinelli's form very, very closely, Arsenal fans. That's all I'm gonna say. I've seen this act too many times when man get these big contracts.
What's he on? What's he making?
180k they're talking about now.
Really?
Hey,
He's on double what Mudryk is on.
It ain't that favela hunger no more now. Now we're eating caviar with our pancakes for breakfast and Colney and that. Life is about to change for Martinelli.
Wow.
Trossard, new stage, new arrival, fresh spark. I think he is potentially. How much did they sign him for as well?
27?
20 something.
21 mil.
I think pound for pound, if you're talking, that is, I think, a perfect signing. Now, is it what they wanted when they wanted to go for Mudryk? And could Mudryk have made a bigger impact potentially? Yes. But what Trossard can bring you, Premier League proven quality, you can't overlook that for sure.
I'm with you. I'm actually going to go with Trossard myself. Obviously, João Felix has had very little time to shine so far. He's got that suspension. He's back soon. Mudryk could be there as well by the end of the season. We could be talking about Gakpo maybe turning it round in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Who's had the worst transfer window? You mentioned Everton didn't actually sign anyone apart from Sean Dyche, which could be the reason they stay up now. But let's go with clubs though. Who has had the worst transfer window for you? Let me kick it off. If you sell one of your best players and don't replace them at the top level, you're gonna Everton.
Liverpool.
Just because of the
Liverpool.
we still brought in one player. They didn't bring in anyone. Liverpool would be second worst
Man
if you wanted
City.
Man City.
my opinion.
Man City.
Man City, yes.
Man
absolutely
City.
signed nobody.
It's a
Got
great
rid of
shout. And lost
Cancelo.
Cancelo, yeah.
Bro, like for me, Man
Great
City,
shout.
I'm sorry, your chasers to Arsenal's title were trying to take your crown as well. Looking
And
like
you've
the
got
new
the
boys.
money.
And they took some of your boys
Yeah.
in the summer. Nah, bro. Man City, I looked at that January and I was like, Pep, you just gave this speech of the guys are not motivated. They need more. Cool. Go to the board and tell them, listen, shake. I'm seeing Chelsea doing shakedowns. Like, this was a time where I felt like there should have been alarm bells ringing at City.
Shakedowns to a
Well,
shake.
yeah, you've got the Chelsea splashing the cash here, Arsenal taking over the title here. These are the two things you're known for. Don't let this just go out with a whimper. And then the whole Cancelo situation, how that kind of happened out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Boom. And then I remember there was even Bernardo talks last minute. I was thinking, hold on, no, this is too much now.
This if he goes now, yeah.
So I don't know. For me, I think City walked away from that and
It's like when they got rid of Cancelo, it's like, have they thrown away the title? Like, in terms of, have they kind of given up and just say, you know what, it ain't happening this season?
They did sign one Argentinian.
Yeah, they're
kid.
saying, but where is he? Is he here now?
The thing is I feel like he could be a signer like Sergio Gomez, where you come in, you've got talent, you've got the ability, but are you actually going to make a difference right here, right now? Is he going to be like an Alvarez, where he does actually get put into the team, or is it going to be like Kai? Do you lot remember him last January? Who? Exactly. Brazilian wonder kid. Kai was supposed to come in, and I remember.
Let us know, City fans, in the comments if that's someone that's going to come into the team. Because I didn't know the player. I think he's come from which club? Boca Juniors?
Vélez Sarsfield.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Who that?
Come on, man, you don't know Vélez?
Vélez Sarsfield.
Come on, man, little blue diamond thing.
Yeah.
You need to watch
remembering.
more Argentinian football, man. Come on.
What time their kickoffs at?
Like 4 a.m. Come on, man. I ain't got no jobs. I'm here, baby.
I ain't got no jobs. That's brilliant.
Football is life.
I love that.
We live, eat, breathe.
Yeah,
this
some
shit.
interesting shouts. Some interesting shouts. I'm going to go with Everton, but City could be there as well. Let us know in the comments what you think. By the way, PSG are 1-0 down to Toulouse.
Let me tell you
Will
something.
they
See, French
Toulouse
league,
this game?
it's not over yet for PSG. You know, they haven't closed it yet.
They drew with
haven't-
rain
Yeah,
the other day.
PSG are
Yeah.
in Toulouse to
Big up to
Toulouse.
Bellerin scoring hella goal. Right, next question. Who was the most underrated signing of the window? This one, again, this is a time will tell kind of question because
Yeah.
we don't know or we can't make a judgment on who's been underrated until maybe the end of the season. But let me chuck a name in there. I might go Pedro Porro.
I was thinking that as well, to be
Only
fair.
because this right wing back position at Tottenham has given you such big headaches across the last 2 or 3 years. How much have you spent to try and solve? By the way, the problem's not solved yet. And again, this might be a bad shout from me, but how much have you spent trying to fix that situation?
It's been 6 years.
That's since
Yeah.
Kyle Walker.
Trippier?
Voila.
Trippier don't get no
We've had
credit.
Trippier, who was Kyle Walker's backup. You get the promotion. Aurier, Trippier's backup. You get the promotion. Yeah. Tanganga, out of the academy. You get the promotion. Doherty, come in. You get promotion. Emerson, we gonna make you the prize gift. 6
Jed Spence.
years.
Jed Spence.
No, he don't even get C minutes. You stay in the back, big man.
That's sad, man.
I thought we could rock up with
Yeah.
fuse trim and get
Man
minutes.
just
No,
wasted
no,
6
you're not me,
months.
big man. But we've spent so long trying to fix that, and I think what you said there is he's someone who I think has shown enough quality, but the problem is does he come in and instantly answer the problem? I think he can play in a back 4, can play in a back 5, which is good.
Massive upgrade.
100%. For me, I think regardless of the last 6 years, what we've had, I know he's an improvement on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, 100%.
And that's all sometimes that's all you're looking for.
That's what you're looking for, yeah.
Just give me something from now till the end of the season. I'm not even expecting him to wow me.
Goal
Just
for
show me
Manchester
you can
United,
adapt
by
to
the
the
way.
Premier League.
2-0.
It's now 2-0.
Come on!
Oh, Marcus
massive
Rashford
goal.
again.
Just
Rashford.
can't stop.
Wow. This guy is unstoppable right now. Yeah. It's insane, isn't it? It's just every single game. He does not stop. Even in the cup, I was seeing him doing little 12s and new skills and whatnot.
He's
it's
on
insane
fire.
right
I think
now.
they moved him down the middle because Weghorst came off
Yeah.
and Garnacho came on. Put Garnacho on the left and he's gone down the
The
middle.
signing I'd be looking at is Badiashile. I think because 3 clean sheets in a row, that's not by accident. It has to be he's made that difference. Koulibaly has been awful all season, causing countless issues, almost defending like a young player. You know, making individual errors, not being able to stay away from the bookings, being rash, indecisive in his decision making. So for him to come in there, 3 games, 3 clean sheets, alongside Thiago Silva, both of them from the French league, and handle business. And obviously he's left-footed, so he gives us a little bit of an extra tactical variation there.
Yeah.
Being able to move across. This is why I'm not putting up with this Potter kind of build-up play that I saw the other day, because like you've now got a left-footed centre-back. We know how crucial that is in the modern game. You've got Gabriel, you got Martinez. You know, we know that Tottenham were looking for also a left back as well. So sorry, left-sided centre back as well. You've been having Ben Davies. You wanted someone better. Shiver me timbers. So you know, and we've seen it with City, Laporte, Ake. You now have a left-footed centre back. I'm expecting to see some versatility in this build-up play. I'm expecting it to not be so rigid and so stationary with a back 4. So I think he, for me, is the surprise at the moment. Because I didn't know about him too much. Obviously, yeah, you're a football manager, credentials coming into it.
Not even a football manager thing. Bro, do you know how I picked up on him? I kept trying to watch Chouameni last year.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, alright, I'm watching it. I'm seeing this brother just winning every header, every time.
His aerial success rate is crazy.
Badiashile kid every single time bursting. So I said, you know what? I think that might be the next French centre back. Because French centre backs, I don't know. There's something in the water.
Something in the water.
They just breed them like it's
We can
Brazilian
name like
strikers.
7 or 8 right now.
Upamecano,
Bro,
Konate,
Hernandez, Saliba, yeah. Theo Hernandez,
Varane.
Varane's
Lucas
just
Sanchez,
retired, yeah.
Konate.
At 29, he could just afford to because he's like, I know there's another 7, 8 man waiting.
Yeah.
And he's
You know
won
what I
the
mean?
Euros and the World Cup.
And he's won the Euros as well. Cup. He may as well
Nations
retire.
League and World Cup. yeah,
Absolute
Euros.
madness, man.
Oh yeah, they
They
lost
lost
the
to
Euros in the
Portugal.
final.
Oh no, that's true. That's true.
Nations
Yeah.
League and World Cup. I wanted
there
him
you
to go for one more. Just go to the Euro, try and win it, so you get the whole set. But you know what? He's won the World Cup. You don't need to.
Yeah.
Most underrated signing of
Well, I'm
the
gonna say
window?
Badiashile. We were actually linked with him, Man United, I think 2 summers ago, so not summer gone, the one before.
Actually, I remember that, and I remember a lot of United fans were like, "Who?"
Yeah, I think it was about 19 at the time, and we're like, "Who's this guy?"
that.
And then obviously we did a little research. We're like, "Oh, left what he said about what we need."
We'll see how he develops.
And it kind of just disappeared
Yeah.
into the ether. And then obviously Martinez came last summer. But see, I'm gonna say Sabitzer, and I'm gonna caveat it to say fans haven't underrated him, but the media have. There's a lot of people in the media
transfer was on the same
who
day
are
as
talking
106
like
million signing, isn't
no,
it?
but a lot of the people in the media talking like, what's Man United doing? Who is he? He can't even get into the
scrub.
Bayern
Hasn't
Munich
been playing for
team.
Bayern Munich, has he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's he gonna do at Man United? Not understanding, especially in the situation that we were in that morning. We woke up. We had a 10-hour press conference. We heard that Eriksen's out for pretty much the rest of the season, and in that press conference, Ten Hag said, "We're unlikely to make any signings. If anything, people might go out on loan." And Man United, we were like, "Oh my God, our season is gonna fall apart."
Yeah.
And literally in a matter of an hour or so, the news came out that Sabitzer, to get that kind of player on loan from Bayern Munich at this stage of the season,
Yeah.
Quality.
I think he's gonna have a big impact. And I think, yeah, he's an Eriksen replacement, but and I'm not even want to
He don't play
disrespect
like
Eriksen
him,
by
does he?
saying it.
Yeah, he's gonna give you legs.
But I think, yeah, what he can, if he's back to his best that he was at Leipzig, just for the 6 months,
28
he
still as well.
could be better for us in the second half of the season than Eriksen was in the first half of the season. Eriksen was very good, but the physicality which we saw that he lacked at the end of the Arsenal game, and a few of the games, he starts flagging after 50,
City
50
game,
minutes.
City game.
Yeah.
Away from home.
Physicality-wise, Sabitzer has got that, and he's got the passing range. He's got the long shots, you know, a bit added onto it. So, yeah, he's not as press resistant as Eriksen, but I think he could be more useful for us than a lot of people are even considering at the moment. So.
Eriksen was never meant to be week in, week out, you know, squeezed to sponge. And at least it's not what I thought when you signed him as well.
He wasn't. Because De Jong was supposed to come in.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think Casemiro would have come in. I think in the end that kind of proved to our benefit because it was one
Massively,
or the other.
because
Really.
De Jong's not a DM.
No, he's not. But you wouldn't pair De Jong and Eriksen, which means that Eriksen would have been kind of flirting in and out of the team.
Liverpool asking for the third.
Big fire, Man United. Something's going on.
Well, there you go. There's our January transfer window roundup for you on DR Sports. We've answered it all for you. So
what
make sure you like,
chance.
comment, and subscribe.
Nunes with a big chance there to score to make it 2-1.
Let's have a look at this one.
It's Nunes, mate. It's always
Great
a big
opportunity.
chance
He needs to be kind of taking
Trent
it.
with the great ball
Look at
over the
this.
top.
Somebody
Wow,
come
what
take a
a
look at
pass
this.
that was,
take
by
that
the
look
way.
at this.
Somebody come and take a look at this.
Schlupp just bodied Anthony right off the pitch. Like
Look at
literally.
this.
And the big fight going on at Man United.
Darwin Nunes. Darwin.
The downgrade is
Got
looking like at the
finished that,
moment.
mate.
God
Got
damn.
finished
Mane
that.
is nuts, man.
God
Corner
damn.
comes in from
Also,
Trent.
I
Well,
see
no,
it
it doesn't.
Also, why is it
Unreal.
the other day I saw an article about top 10 world record signings in the Premier League and Darwin Nunes wasn't on that list?
Because it was actually 56
Why
million.
are you lot trying
actually.
to smudge the figures
Yeah,
all of a
because-
sudden?
It's not smudging no figures, bro.
Because he ain't
It's not.
paid, they ain't paid the add-ons yet.
Yeah, but neither
And
of
they may never will.
Neither of
It's
neither
like,
of
it's like their Cater deal. The
Neither have
Cater
we.
deal, I think, is worth 80 million, but because they only paid 50 up front, the other 30.
Enzo was 40 million up
They're
front.
never gonna-
Everybody can play this game.
No, you
Everybody
check
can play.
that.
Everybody
Check.
can play this
Cater's
game.
deal's worth 80 million.
No.
Google it, bruv.
Everybody
Google
can play
it.
this
I'm telling
game,
you.
man.
But it was like
Naby-
Anthony
Naby
Martial.
Keita
Anthony Martial
hype.
cost 36 million, and he had to meet those 3 different.
Ballon d'Or was one of
Ballon
them.
d'Or's won 7 million.
I'll never forget that clause.
Appearances for France and goals for France, I think it was.
And he's never going to hit any of them.
Some of these add-ons are just ridiculous. I feel like they put them in there just because they know it's never going to happen.
No, he
But the
should.
thing
He
is,
should.
I'll give you 100 million if he gets 100
with the
goals.
hype with Martial, he was never going to win a Ballon d'Or. But with the hype with Martial, he was definitely going to hit those France caps and then France.
But this is it.
Depending on how many goals.
If you go
it is.
to Monaco and say, "Oh, I want your talented young player,"
Yeah.
you are rating so highly.
Yeah.
And Monaco say, "All right, this is what we're going to pay." We say, "All right, we'll pay that if he wins the
Ballon
Ballon
d'Or.
d'Or."
Ballon d'Or is
and
nuts,
they
man.
can't then say, "No, he ain't that good." Oh, he ain't that good. Well, then drop the price.
Yeah,
Like, which one is it? If you're saying
yeah.
he's that good,
It's true.
then the Ballon d'Or clause is a guarantee, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a guarantee.
it's true. It's true. You're smart. You're smart.
Is there a red card?
But Mbappe don't
This
have
is
that clause in his
horrible.
contract. It's
Absolutely
crazy.
horrible to watch if you're a Liverpool fan right now. Great if you're here for some tears.
Ooh, Casemiro might be getting a red card.
Red card VAR check for Casemiro.
Yeah, because he's got his hands around the throat of Hughes.
Casemiro going to be sent off, says
Yeah, he's definitely
MKH.
gonna be
VAR checking
The
for a red
Brazilian
card.
DMs are moving mad. Guimaraes and now Casemiro as well. Fabinho should have got sent off. The
Guimaraes.
Brazilians are moving brazy.
Meant to be a leader. Lead by example.
Is it a red card?
It hasn't been given yet, but for me, it looks. If he gets away with it, very lucky. But he's got two hands on the net. Yeah.
Red card.
Yeah, red card.
Red card
Wow.
for Casemiro and Manchester United. Wow.
So he's going to miss the next
Three games. I think that's a miss of the game to Anfield as well now. Am I right?
Are we playing you that soon?
I think so.
Man United fans are about to,
I think so.
shake.
Oh, gosh.
Casemiro, interesting.
Dance now.
That's so poor from
Casemiro,
Casemiro.
interestingly,
we got
decided to get suspended in the game versus Arsenal. And then now in the most important run-in,
you miss?
I know we got Leeds next. We got Leeds twice
In the Prem?
in the Prem, back to back. Yeah, we got Leeds back to back,
Someone ducking the
Then
ground.
what?
and then
Surely.
Leicester.
So we'll be back for Liverpool.
It'll be
Brilliant.
no. The next game after that will be AFL Cup final.
Oh, okay.
Then West Ham in the with Liverpool's in the Premier
Oh,
League
it
is
was
4
more
games
of a
away.
hope. It was
No,
more
you're
of a
right.
hope.
In the Premier League is 4 games away.
Golf. Oh my God, Wolves have scored.
Oh, Ruben Neves!
And Villa have scored as
Oh,
well.
and Villa have equalised as well. So that means they're trying to get into the top 10. Coutinho has scored for Aston Villa. Of all people. 3-3 at Villa Park. But 3-0 to Wolves. Ruben Neves has scored. I wonder what... I'm sure it's an absolute belter from him. He always does manage to... I'm sure now that is probably a defeat for Liverpool. I don't know if they can come back from that now. I think that's way... I mean, there's only 20 minutes left, yeah. I think that's comprehensively done and dusted. And I think Wolves are fighting back from what happened in the Cup, man. They're furious. They should have went through in the first game at Anfield. The goal was disallowed. The goal was disallowed. That I think it was the third goal at Anfield. And they've come back for vengeance. Man. This is insane. Absolutely insane. 3-0.
Casemiro, sorry. I know.
You've seen it now, yeah, go on.
No, I'm saying...
Let us know.
It's so...
Stupid.
No, but it's not about stupid. That is a terrible... From one of the most experienced
Facts,
players
100%.
on the pitch. Not just in terms of playing time, but... You're supposed to be a leader.
Yeah.
And you've been a leader all season.
Been there,
to
done
get caught up in that kind of rubbish, especially in the era of VAR.
Bro, you're 2-0 up. I don't understand.
Yeah, you're 2-0 up as well.
This
If you're
from him.
2-0 down, you're frustrated. I get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. You're 2-0 up. Game's comfortable.
It's Aaron
Here it
Hughes.
is. Neves. Oh my goodness. Liverpool. Jesus Christ.
What's Aaron Hughes?
My God, this lot can't defend. Every single time I see a goal conceded against Liverpool, it's just... There's nobody marking anybody. It's just free roam like GTA. Just wherever you want to go, shoot up the place. Vanilla unicorn. Do what you want, strippers. It's nuts.
Ruben
It doesn't make
Neves.
any sense.
Real hours, yeah?
Watch Rashford
Real
repost that.
influence.
Rashford go and repost
Yeah.
that. Like it's
Hey, no.
It's mad.
Don't kill me.
And this is why when I said on the Big Six, I said, if Chelsea don't finish ahead of Liverpool after all the money we spent, we're a disgrace, fam. Because Liverpool are awful. And when the two teams came up against each other at Anfield, I clocked it. I said, wow, we're bad, but they're just as bad. And it's about time that reality hits for Liverpool fans. I don't want to hear about this top 4 talk no more. It's done. 40 points, man. 40 points.
Don't cry, don't
Relegation
beg.
rhythm. Relegation rhythm. 40 points. It has to be.
They are finished, mate.
You know what?
Wow, man.
Sorry, I'm just gonna say. Sorry, not to bring it back.
days.
Casemiro saw that Bruno got the red card and he's gonna have 3 games off before the final. Casemiro said, "All right, if your star man's gonna be ready for that final, I'm gonna be ready." Casemiro, I see what you did, but that's terrible. That's terrible.
Hey, man.
No, that's bad. Tomlin's gonna be playing with, or it might be Fred and Sabitzer might do.
Wait, so you're missing. So wait, Casemiro misses the final against.
No. It's Leeds at home.
Yeah.
Leeds away, Leicester home, and then the final straight.
You better
after
hope
that.
one of them games don't get rescheduled.
You're right. You're damn
know what
right.
to say.
Imagine.
Hey, we gotta move one of them games because fixture congestion and whatnot.
I've literally... I should have taken that draw. when you
Bro, I
offered it.
told you, bro.
I
They should have
warned you,
taken that
and I
point.
said,
don't disrespect.
Now they're gonna get free.
Don't
I
disrespect.
warned you.
don't disrespect.
A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
This is what I say about Liverpool. Oh, Aston Villa. It's disallowed.
Oh, disallowed.
Okay, Coutinho's goal disallowed. So I'm telling you, bro. When you're down on your knees like this, you have to take whatever you can get. And this right here, a point.
Pause.
It might not be pause for you lot.
Down on your knees.
Man, I fell down to my knees.
It's mad. Mad chat.
Bro, Liverpool are
Bro,
in trouble.
make everyone right now who is gunning for me in the comments about AGT this, AGT
Wait,
that.
can I ask this?
No, let me land. Just make sure that you watch the Cop TV's instant match reaction after this show. That's it.
That's where he's going to do his talking.
Yeah.
Let me talk now. Can I ask you something though?
Let me talk.
What's kind of like the base level of like this is getting a bit ridiculous now. Can you man finish like 14th, 15th? Because like the way you're playing,
14th,
the way you're
15th.
moving.
This is reminiscent of Andre Voronin days.
Don't forget. Nah, have some respect. You're a madman. Nah, you're a madman.
Remember they had that blonde guy just running around with his ponytail, bro.
Stop talking about
Hey.
Liverpool.
You cannot do that. You cannot bring names like that up with me. No.
Honestly, it's awful. There's nothing more I can say. Let's
No,
move
but you
on.
can.
No,
I
let's
have
move
to
on.
ask.
Let's
No,
move
because
on.
you asked me questions. I'm co-hosting this. I have to
darkness,
ask.
my
Is there
old
what position can you not take? Like, can you fall to 15th and it still be an FSG thing, or what's going on here?
10th.
Like, 10th. Yeah, but if you keep moving like this, you're 3-0 down to Wolves, right? If you keep doing this, you're gonna keep falling. Palace, Villa, they will pick up points. Like,
Sure.
what's gonna happen?
Don't know. I don't know. Bro, I don't know anymore,
This
man.
is crazy.
I give up.
Crystal Palace have got a goal. Oh, the Casemiro capitulation. CC me in this email.
Is that Jeffrey Schlupp who got him sent off as well?
No. Well, Jeffrey started it. But it was.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Old Trafford.
It was,
Nobody wants
but he
this.
did it on Hughes, Aaron Hughes.
Oh my goodness, another
It's
goal.
just disgusting.
Apparently David De Gea has done a madness. We haven't been able to see it. Wow, this is a great Saturday football show, man.
David here made a save from
Brighton and Bournemouth needs to step it up, man. Everybody else is doing the business. What a weekend.
That's so poor.
This is
Casemiro.
crazy.
That's
It's just
so
horrible,
poor.
bro. I hate football. Anyway, let's move on to Southampton. Tottenham versus Manchester City tomorrow. I believe we have a clip from the Best of Enemies to show you. Before we speak to Daps.
Didn't you see KG in the fucking the press conference with Ten Hag? Sounded like he swallowed a Harvard dictionary, blood. Didn't you see KG in the fucking the press conference with Ten Hag? Sounded like he swallowed a Harvard dictionary, blood.
Oh, really? He didn't bring the soundboard.
No, he didn't.
No.
This guy says, "Oh, I bring Sasha or whatever wherever I go." This guy's like, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that." Bro, me and him were gonna have a new show called Jerk and Jollof, blood. But after I saw the way that he was speaking better English than Prince Harry, bro. I'm telling you, fam, in that press conference. When I went on Sky Sports, bro, I was dropping hella, you know them way.
They ain't brought you back since.
No, they have.
Have they?
Yes, they have.
They said, hey, we ain't hearing about them polos anymore.
Respect on me, blood.
Well then, as you can see, the lads yesterday had a great time on Best of Enemies. Looking forward to Tottenham versus Manchester City. I believe we've got a Manchester City fan with us live, coming into the studio. It's Daps, and he is there. How are you doing, fella? You all right?
I'm doing better than you at the moment. I think.
Absolutely. This smile that I've got right now, it's a mix between depression and trying just to save face a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's all fake. It's all
see
fake
it.
stuff.
I saw it, and I do like the way Neeks very quickly, like the camera went to him the minute Casemiro it was confirmed. He was straight on his phone trying to work out what games he's going to miss.
No, listen, you got to do what you got to
All
do.
good,
But
bro.
listen,
And listen, you're not an 11-man team. It's fine. You'll be fine, bro. You know, you've got Fred. You've got a bit of this and a bit of that. You'll be good, bro. Don't worry.
We haven't got McTominay. Bring him back. He's injured, bloody hell. We're struggling right now.
honestly, we're not here to
McTominay
talk about
2.0, yeah.
Manchester United or Liverpool, unfortunately for you, Dap. So let's get into the preview for Tottenham versus Manchester City tomorrow. You yourself, Man City, haven't been themselves recently either. All right.
No shit, Sherlock. Fucking hell.
So, we do apologise for the swear words there.
I mean, this is
before
the
9
thing.
o'clock as well. So let's,
Sorry,
let's
apologies,
tidy up.
apologies, people. But when this is a good reminder. Today's a good reminder because you know people are acting like there's a crisis at City, but you know we're second, still in the title race. So it's not a crisis. I'm happy we've rooted out the bad egg and hopefully got rid of him. But look, this weekend's massive.
Aston Villa 2, Leicester 4, by the way. Just to cut you in there very shortly, Daps. Instead of it being 3-3, Philippe Coutinho had a goal disallowed. And now Leicester, 4 goals away from home at the Villa, at Villa Park. Unbelievable scoreline if that one stays the same. Let's go back to Daps.
Yeah, I was just going to say, look, I always knew this weekend would be big. With the fact that, look, Arsenal fans were saying it, and I think we were all saying it. New manager bounce, Sean Dyche, Everton. Now, this is where, for the whole season, with City's bad form, we've been saying, yeah, but business end of the season, this is where City turn up, right? this is where that really gets tested, because now the door's been opened. The City we know from most seasons, when a door gets opened in the business end of the season, they take advantage of it, right? It's a hard game. Tottenham away, we haven't won there. I don't believe we've scored at their ground. But Arsenal have opened the door to us. If we are the City of old, by any means, we get 3 points tomorrow. And then I'll back my team again to win the league. If we don't, then it just shows that at the moment we haven't got that same mentality. So, look, Arsenal have let us in. Now we have to take advantage.
Fuad, obviously, Man City roll into town tomorrow. Are you confident about this one? Obviously, Daps is buzzing there. He's very confident. But what do you think about this one?
Not really. Not as a Spurs fan, I'll be honest. Even though we've had 2 wins now, kind of out of the last 2. Performances haven't really filled me with much confidence. I think having played City a couple of weeks back as well, I think we were 2-0 up at half-time. Kind of maybe a little bit undeservedly, you could say. But the way we kind of capitulated in that second half, and I think as much as we capitulated, City also showed their teeth, I felt like, in the first 5 or 10 minutes. And you just kind of saw, I feel like that's what City are capable of. And I think what Dap said there as well, I said earlier, where I feel like this weekend is really a litmus test for City's titles, credentials this year. You've kind of got Chelsea splashing the cash over there. You've got Arsenal who are trying to take their throne and do it in the way that City have been doing it in previous years, let's be honest. But now you're kind of looking at it and thinking, their bogey team in Spurs, can they go out there and do it type of thing? And for us, I've said it's the perfect game to kind of really, if you're serious about this top 4 push, this is the kind of game where you just remind everyone and say, do you know what? Because against the top sides this year, I think United, Liverpool, everybody, we've been awful, which is the reason why, in all honesty, I look at this game and I'm like, I don't really have too much confidence. Usually for me, it's the teams in and around us and below us where I think maybe we could take something. The top 6 games, I haven't fancied us at all.
I just wanted to ask quickly. That now, obviously, you mentioned Cancelo being a problem.
A bad egg, I believe that said. Yeah,
bad egg, stinky one, rotten.
But there's been a few players.
Most eggs do smell bad
since the World Cup. Who I don't know. He hasn't been. Pep hasn't favoured. Foden's been in and out of the team.
Foden's been injured, bro.
No, but when he came up from the World Cup, he wasn't injured, and Pep wasn't really fancying him. Is there issues other than Cancelo? Are there any other issues behind the scene that is causing City slump at
the full Cancelo thing, bro. One of the reasons Foden hasn't played is slightly to do with that Foden was backing Pep. Foden and Ruben Diaz got involved on the training pitch. There has been, 100%. But the thing is, look, Bernardo Silva's another one of them. But we saw last season, Bernardo Silva can still be professional. The key is when his countryman isn't being, and a guy that he shares an apartment block with isn't being, I think Pep has rooted out, he is the key. Look, the one thing I took from the Arsenal game was, before the Arsenal game, we got told there were 5 seniors that have a bit of an issue with Pep. Gundogan, or aren't happy, maybe not with Pep, but aren't happy. Bernardo Silva, Cancelo, Gundogan, Walker, Laporte. When I look at the Arsenal game in the second half, Laporte came on, looked good. Walker came on, looked better than he has been most of the season for us when he's been fit. Bernardo Silva actually put in a shift when he came on. So straight away, that's 3 of the 5 that have come on and looked better. I honestly believe the reason why Pep let Cancelo go out on loan, none of the other 4, just Cancelo, is because I think he's noted this one is impacting the dressing room. That's why it's a loan. Get him away from the squad now. But it's the same as what I just said before, bro. All of my faith in my club has been put on what we do in the business end of the season.
Well, but this is what I'm going to say. But based on everything that's happened and the season so far, obviously a lot of the talk is, you know, City can go on a 10, 15 game winning run. Personally, it's hard for me to look at this City team and say, I can see a 15-game winning run in it. Can you see that?
But Nick, this is the thing. That's what I'm saying. Until recently, maybe not. But after this week, after the Arsenal game, and then with now, this is a test. I'm not saying I can see it, but last season when we dropped points to Crystal Palace, right? I went on a rant that I don't see no leaders. I can't see us doing what we've done in previous seasons. This is the weekend where ultimately, I'm saying the same as you. Someone show me. Someone in City's team, because the proof is in the pudding. If we don't, I'll happily say, do you know what, maybe this season we've dropped off. But this is the opportunity. Right now, the weekend, Arsenal drop points. If we then go and take 3 points, whatever Tottenham's ground called, the toilet bowl, I think. right? If we go and take 3 points there, that is pressure, severe pressure on
Arsenal.
On Arsenal and on Arteta. And if you think about it, that's 3 pressures now. That if we get points tomorrow, 3 points, then you go back the last time when we played Tottenham and we came back from 2 goals down, and then you talk about when we beat them in the Cup. That's 3 times that we're saying to Arteta and Arsenal, this is what we do. Are you really ready to do this with us? So,
Daps, how you doing, bro? Final question before we go back to the scores as well.
Matisse. Yeah, I salute the shamelessness of the last couple of streams, bro. You've been sensational.
Appreciate it, thank you. I think Fuad's going to be watching you after that shit, you know, that toilet ball slander. But you know, we'll see what happens with the
I could have called it Entertainment FC. Right. Get your Beyonce tickets.
But with Haaland and De Bruyne, are you still kind of, you know, hedging your bets on those two to kind of deliver the goods for the rest of the season, or are you not trying to build your team around them as much?
Do you know what? I think that the fact that over recent weeks it's maybe been Mahrez, maybe been Alvarez, Grealish stepping up, it could mean that little bit more space is given to De Bruyne and Haaland, because it's not been them recently. So I don't think we can rely on them 2 players. Look, City have never been the team that rely on multiple players, and I don't think we ever should be. So I want to see Alvarez play. The hardest one for me is, it kind of seems a bit like, is it Alvarez or Mahrez? And I want both of them. So I've said it before, I would not be against dropping Haaland and playing Alvarez. I wouldn't be against it. So
mad. Well, there you are.
So I'm just watching this.
He's just watching the capitulation of his football
performance from my team.
But
just before we go, Daps, let's get a score prediction from you, and then we'll get one from Fuad as well. Just before we go.
Apologies, you're not getting one from me.
No, we need one from you.
He doesn't play by the rules, Daps.
Yeah. He doesn't do.
You did one last time you were on DR Sports.
Now I've done it too many times, and we've gone. I'm not doing it.
You did one against Neeks on the face-off, didn't you?
Yeah, but
which I hosted.
They're nervous now. A second half.
Like you did, and what happened there?
You lost.
Yeah.
Exactly. So therefore, it's not happening.
Oh, go on then.
Oh, come on, bro. you're moving like, I only put my right shin pad on before I go out.
He's got rituals.
Come on, bro.
Very, very seriously.
I've got rituals, bro. I won't wear team colours tomorrow. I don't wear nothing City on a match day. I can't do it, bro.
There you are.
You can do it, but
rejected. Here's where it is.
I could, but I'm not.
So what are you going to be wearing tomorrow? Your Pink Panther outfit?
Well, don't reveal our secrets.
That's what Big Steve calls it, isn't it? He's got his Pink Panther outfit on, isn't he? Fucking hell. Fuad, let's get a score prediction from you then, if we can. Contractually, you have to. He didn't like that one.
I didn't like that. I don't do well with authority. 2-1 win. 2-1 win I'll go for. I think being at home, I think Daps saying as well, City hadn't scored against us in our ground, and I was like, I'm trying to think back. Champions League, did you not score now?
Missed the penalty, didn't they?
Yeah,
bro, we haven't scored in the ground.
Yeah.
Yo, that's mad. I don't know.
2-1. I think you'll score,
Tottenham.
2-1 Tottenham. I think Kane and then Danjuma off the bench. I would love, Pedro Porro against his former club. I will love it.
The 12 million, bro.
And I think I deserve it.
Mitoma. I still ain't got Mitoma in my
Goal for
Brighton.
Matoma again. Matoma with another goal to follow up after the brilliant FA Cup performance last week.
Wow.
He now has got a late winner against Bournemouth. Was waiting for Brighton to kick into action, considering the fact that they are also in a very healthy position, and their rivals, I guess you could say, Fulham and Brentford are having good weekends as well. So Brighton needed to step up, and they've done exactly that. 3 minutes to go at the Amex Stadium. They're 1-0 up. And
sorry, did Matisse just say that Fulham are having a good weekend?
Yeah, they've had a very good weekend. They got a point.
No, it was just an all-right result against a mid-table team.
Do you know what? Yeah, you better close. You better close these deals that you're on right now.
Can I just say,
I'm going to remember
Wolves
these
are about
comments
to score a fourth. Oh, what a mess! Right, Daps, thank you so much for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good weekend, everyone.
We'll Bless up. Take care, my brother.
You,
right, let's get into. Let's take these off actually before we. Remind me of being on a plane, those headphones. Awful quality, but amazing production. Thank you so much.
Palace, we need one more. We need one more.
Right, for the last bit of the show, we're going to speak about Liverpool.
Really?
I don't want to, and again, you know, I'm going to be on the Cop TV straight after this, so make sure that you lock into that. However, where do Liverpool finish now? We did our top 4 predictions. We did our relegation predictions as well. I mean, I'm not even going to answer this because, I'm saving it for my outburst and for the views, obviously. But Matisse, Neeks,
contractually,
I'll ask you 2 questions each. I'll ask you 2 questions each. All of you.
What's going on there? Contractual hype.
When you're the host, though, you just do what you want. Where do Liverpool finish? And is Klopp capable of the rebuild at Liverpool if there is to be one?
Jesus.
2 questions each. Who wants to take the floor?
Liverpool, I'll give a short, simple answer. Liverpool will finish 9th. And I think they will comfortably take that. I don't even think that's the worst case scenario. I always say, if you're not going to finish in the Champions League, you're better off just finishing 9th. Because that way you get a clear run next year. You get an opportunity to just focus on rebuilding the 11. You don't have to worry about squad depth because we're playing midweek or whatever. No, let's just focus on the 11. So if you're talking about a rebuild, that's actually what Klopp needs.
But financially
Liverpool,
what? Liverpool in the
need the Champions League.
Go and sell that 20-30% you want to sell. Go and find a buyer. And that's how
economic
you get
levers.
Investment. Yes, those are the economic levers you pull. You've had this sustained period over the past 6 years. Capitalize on it. Now your name should be hot. You shouldn't be struggling to sell Liverpool FC with the heritage and the history that club's got.
Any big sales in there, Salah? I've seen links with him away.
Mate, there is... This summer, for me, is going to be the real test of... The second part of that question is Klopp capable of the rebuild? That's the part where I'm questioning. I was always very much a Klopp guy. I love Klopp.
Yep.
The way... I've always said, if I was a player, that's the kind of manager I want to play. The man you want to run through a brick wall for. But the problem is his loyalty is almost costing him. His love and that affection he has for those players, is he able to cull that and get rid of them? Is he able to say, James Milner, thank you for your services, but after this summer, I no longer need you? Forget even
he's gonna
for
have
depth
to say
purposes.
that, though.
And that's where he needs to prove that he can do a rebuild.
Or is he going to say, bleep test, you've come first again, here's another 1 year
Because
deal.
Sir Alex Ferguson, which is, we're
point.
entering that territory of when you've done 7 years, I'm sorry, now you're talking Sir Alex time, innit? Because no manager does 7 years. Wenger, Sir Alex, obviously Pep's been there a long time. Once you get to that 6-7 year mark, we're like, can you do a dynasty now? Can you do like 10 years, 15 years?
Because
right?
now
it's
not just like...
He said he wants to do another 10. I think he said,
And I think
you gotta be
he's
ruthless.
capable, but that's the thing. You have to be ruthless. So this summer, I want to see how ruthless he is. Guys like Hendo, guys like Virgil, like... The way you don't push Virgil out by saying, "Oh, Virgil, you're dropped." No, you keep Virgil. You sign a star centre back. And you say, Now let's see.
Vardio.
With his injury, can you rely on him?
Lord.
That's what I'm saying.
though,
Like, you've got 4 centre backs here. You've got 4
injury
centre
right
backs.
now.
Yes,
Yeah.
you've got 4 centre backs.
5.
Who start of last year, you would have said, "Yo, we got the best core there." But you can't rely on a single one. I'm sorry, I can't. If I can't rely, availability is the best ability.
Yeah, you're right. And Nat Phillips, should he have started today after Joe Gomez's howlers in the last 2 or 3 weeks? I would. In the preview, I said yes.
Yeah. You see, for me, in terms of where Liverpool finish, I'm gonna say 8th max. 8th max. I think.
So they're not finishing ahead of Brighton, Brentford, Fulham, these teams, no?
Well, I think Fulham. What I said, because Chelsea, Fulham, 6th, 7th around that,
Okay, there's Tottenham,
Newcastle
there's
5th.
Newcastle.
Yeah,
Bro,
so-
top 6 ain't what it used to be, man. There's teams in there. It's tough.
So I'm gonna go 8th. I think there's playing bad,
Call it top
and there's
10.
losing 3-0 at Wolves.
Yeah.
Like you can lose to anyone.
2 weeks after losing 3-0 at Brighton.
Yeah, anyone can go to Wolves and
And
lose.
you just played Wolves, so you
Anyone
should
can
know
go to
them
Wolves
well.
and lose.
You should know
But to lose 3-0 at Wolves is damning. So you're like, what do you need to fix to get back on the right track? A lot. That's the first step. So that's why I don't think it's going to be outside.
You could have said this at Brighton, though.
Could have been. Yeah. But it's the same
second
thing.
time.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't see them finishing higher than 8th as it stands. In terms of whether Klopp can rebuild this side, I think there's literally one question that needs to be answered. Will FSG be the owners going forward? If FSG are the owners going forward, Klopp cannot rebuild this side.
Bro, I'm not. No, I'm not doing that.
No.
I'm not doing that.
Full time.
No.
FSG have helped you build this. They've given you Nunes. They've given you Virgil. They've given you Naby. They've given you all these
pieces. Where I'm coming
pieces.
from. I'm not blaming FSG. Even though FSG, I'm not saying Klopp is excused. Let me finish my statement.
Okay. Sorry.
If they don't get new owners, Klopp is not will not be able to rebuild his side because he is not willing to change his style of play. And I said this to you when we did the live show, the deadline day show. The way that he wants the Liverpool team to play, this current team cannot play this way, and it will take massive investment to change so many players
so you can play that way. Yeah, exactly.
And so unless you get that massive investment,
by the way, as football evolves, Klopp needs to show that he can evolve as well and play different ways. That's how you stay relevant. Do you know what I'm saying?
Unless he gets massive investment to get the players so he can play this way, or he changes the way he's going to play, which he's not going to do, this team will never be what it was. So for me, the answer is FSG here in the summer? If FSG are in here in the summer going forward, he cannot rebuild this team to what it was. Maybe they can get fourth one season, whatever, but they won't be title challengers. They won't be challenging for top four, challenging for the Champions League. If they get new owners, then without a shadow of a doubt, Klopp is more than good enough to get this team, get this club, should I say, rather than the team in terms of the players, get this club back on track. For me, that's where the answer is.
Let me go through full time as well. We'll get a score update on the graphic on Brentford as well. They're 3-0. That game's over. Brentford 3, Southampton 0 full time. Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 1. Still going on at Old Trafford. I think it was something like 6 or 7 minutes added on. Aston Villa 2, Leicester 4 full time. Full time at the Amex Stadium as well. Brighton 1, Bournemouth 0. And full time at Molineux, Wolves 3, Liverpool 0. So just one game we're still waiting on a result from, and that is the game obviously at Old Trafford. Casemiro sent off, down to 10 men. Crystal Palace looking for a late equaliser. Will they be able to get it?
There's about a minute and a half left.
Minute and a half left.
Sabitza's come on. I'm not sure who came off for him. Probably one of the forwards, but he came on after Casemiro.
Give him a debut and give him 3 minutes, man.
No. He came on. He came on at least about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because obviously after the red card.
Yeah. Big win for Brentford, I have to say, because they're keeping consistent with where they are. And these type of teams here, there's no reason why they can't say we want European football next year, whether that be Conference League, Europa League, whatever. They're hanging in there, and they're not even hanging in there. They're doing it in style. 3-0 that's a really good result.
The most about Brentford is the second season syndrome. We always say with Sheffield, we've had it with other teams. It's always tough. That second season. I think teams adapt to how you play. Teams also start to figure out how to break you down in a sense. And I think Brentford, they've just seemed to continually keep adapting. I think last year when they brought in Eriksen mid-season, I thought stroke of genius. And then in the summer again when they lost him, I thought, oh, okay, they signed Damsgaard, they've signed a few decent players, Christopher Ayer at the back. But yeah, I think their recruitment, the coaching, obviously I think they're going to miss Tony for a little while as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he played today. I don't know what's happening with that.
I don't know what's going. It's a long investigation.
I think it's going to.
Well, as long as he's there, make most of it. But I truly even think Brentford are at a point where it's not fully relying on him. Yeah, I think Mbeumo and Wissa can carry them for a little while, if that
depending
makes sense.
On what the aspirations are. If it's for European football, I think maybe
for
that
them,
could be
in
a
my
problem.
opinion,
top 10
for the first 3 seasons, just ensure your Premier League status. That's all you should do. Whether you finish 16th or 9th, it makes no difference in reality, in my eyes anyway. But just survive relegation.
Players, it could mean a difference though.
Attractive players, I think when you're in the Premier League, you can offer the money you can.
True. I mean, we're seeing literally Bournemouth go up against AC Milan.
AC Milan. What? Listen, that is ludicrous. Man, I hit seeing black and red stripes, and
they don't care which club.
Bro, the Premier Super League is mad at the moment. So as long as you're playing in the Premier League, I think players will always want to come.
Just before we go, I know I asked you the question about Liverpool. I mean, where will they finish? 8th or 9th? Is Klopp the man to be the face of the rebuild? Again, it depends on what owners I had. I really like the points that Neeks made there around if he gets the investment, because he isn't going to change the style of play, we know that, but if he gets the money to get better players to play the way he wants to play, then we could see an improvement. But right now, in terms of the ownership and what's gone on there, we don't know. As fans, we actually don't know anymore. There was rumours a few weeks ago that Salah was meeting the QIA guy who owns PSG as well. Maybe we're talking about him speaking to the owner, potential new owner, about the club, but no, it looks like he could now be going to PSG. And I do think Liverpool, under this current ownership, do sell a Van Dijk or a Salah this season. I do think they do it, which again would just be, I mean, that's the off the pitch problems, but then on the pitch, just disgusting, disgraceful, pathetic performances week after week. And I said it on the show last week on the weekend roundup. I said it's horrible to watch Liverpool. Like, I hate watching Liverpool right now. It's disgusting. I hate using that word as well. But the level of performances, the chances that we're creating and not scoring, it all leads to a mid-table finish. If I'm really honest, maybe I am finally jumping into reality now, boys.
I've been waiting.
Maybe
for
I am.
I've
Here I
been
am.
expecting
5
your
stages of
arrival
grief.
for many weeks. For many weeks have I expected.
Because you're shamelessly there.
Bro, do you know what it is with me? Yeah, do you know what it is with me?
United have won, by the way, 2-1.
Do you know what it is with me? I'm just enjoying the season now.
Nothing
I'm
to
just
enjoy.
like, bro,
What would your advice be to me then?
like, bro, do you know what it is?
What
Yeah,
shall I do now?
just kind of
'Cause
just.
every Monday when I see you,
Yeah.
you and I both know what's coming for me. So
Yeah.
how do I?
I think right now what you got to do is you got to accept reality. Then the second thing you got to do is kind of pretend that you're in a movie and that this is.
What movie?
Just pick the most dramatic one you can find.
Titanic.
Yeah, Titanic, literally sinking ship, perfect. And it's like, bro, just enjoy the
perfect
chaos, enjoy the carnage. I said it last week. As much as I'm angry for the Fulham result, and I'm angry that that everybody keeps coming to me to laugh at me and troll me. At the same time, I'm like, do you know what? Brighton, Brentford, and Fulham, have your fun. It's nice to see that 3 well-organized clubs that have done their recruitment in certain ways, whatever, have you will, are now flourishing. I'm sure it's not something that I'm going to see every year. I'm firm this. I'm going to handle this. And we're gonna let it happen. There's so much drama. I mean, there's so much drama. How can you not be entertained? Like, it's the Premier League. Even if your team is being affected, I know that we're gonna be back one day. I don't know when, but we're not tomorrow, maybe 2 months, 3 months. Yeah. I don't know. But football, this is football. Do you know what I mean? This is football heritage. At the end of the day, you have to accept it. You have to deal with it, and just be entertained, man. It's entertaining. I can't lie. It's very entertaining.
For you,
very entertaining.
yeah, for sure. No, there you go. Awful performance from Liverpool, easily the worst of the teams that we've seen play today. Right, to round off the show from myself, Matisse, Fuad and Neeks, thank you very much for your contribution to the show today. Everton 1, Arsenal 0, Brentford 3, Southampton 0, Manchester United just scraping it with, including a Casemiro red card, Aston Villa losing 4-2 at home under Unai Emery, Brighton beating Bournemouth with a Matoma last 3-minute winner, and Wolves 3, Liverpool 0. That has been your Saturday football show for another week. Take care, and I guess we'll see you on Monday for another cooking of AGT. Brilliant.
Previously.
Save the bridge! Save the bridge!
Save the bridge!
Chelsea have now submitted a bid more than £50 million for Marc Cucurella.
Save the bridge! Save the bridge! Save the bridge!
When it comes to Wesley Fofana, at this point, the money is only going up. Yeah, the fee is only just rising and rising at this point.
We need to save the bridge! Yo, big man,
Save the bridge!
Roman Abramovich and them, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
The Chelsea board are now in Poland trying to reach verbal agreement with Mudryk and Shakhtar. Official bid ready, close to £100 million.
Yo, fam, they need peas, fam. They need the pounds, some dollars. We'll take some Ugandan shillings, fam.
Enzo to Chelsea is on, and it's a here we go.
Save the bridge!
Yeah, the takeover's complete. It's all mine, boys. It's all mine. You see, I was in Best of Enemies today. That's a terrible time to be out in.
Yo, listen.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy about that?
Yeah, that time
nobody ever feels sorry for the rich because they can always spend their way out of problems.
That timing.
You guys will spend your way out of problems. So for now, you must suffer.
That timing is a bit
You
peak.
must suffer and you must enjoy the fruits of the consequences that you will have right now. And like I said, it's going to get worse and worse.
Yeah.
And just enjoy it. Embrace it. You know?
Yeah. Mudryk has been taken off at half time. That's not good for the online. It's going to be mad. Yeah, they're going to cook him. But here's what it is. They're going to cook the crap out of him. He's been hooked at half time.